you assume would be, and you start coming up on that gradient. And further ahead of you, you see quite a large, almost like channel, almost like a valley between these rolling hills through the wood line. So it's wooded everywhere, but you can see like this stream that seems to run down and sort of zigzag through out this forest, bringing yourself onto the stream and traveling back southwards. You start to see where the water drops into like a basin inside the earth. It kind of just drops down, and this hilltop goes around like the water system where the waterfall is dropping into the earth. You figure that's probably where, probably like the chimney top of this cave entrance is your best guess. If you was to go down this sort of waterfall, you would probably be in where the stream started to sort of rush at you from in the cave system.
So I see like kind of a hole in the ground with a waterfall going down it.
Yeah.
And it looks like, can we get down easy enough, or is it going to
be? You can get down. You're looking in yourself. You're looking into sort of. There's like sunlight going down, but it goes with all the splash of the water. It looks to be about a 20-foot drop. Rough guess, maybe 30 feet. And it looks like you're dropping into a pool of water. You can't really test the depth of that pool of water from where you're looking. And you will drop into darkness as well.
Okay.
There's the obvious sunlight that's lighting up where you can see down, but you can't see sort of anywhere past where that sunlight's been let in.
Okay. I'll say to the group, I think I can see somewhere. See where that water flows into that hole there in the valley?
Yeah.
Vaguely, I've not got the best eyes.
Well, looks like that's our way in.
Okay.
But the problem is it's gonna be very dark in there. And I'm not gonna be able to see much.
I can try and lead the way. I can see that's a perfectly normal place for me to be in a cave.
I got my raccoon. Mutu.
He climbs up onto her head.
To watch that the little man doesn't get washed away in the water.
It's a horrible thing to think.
Just thinking out for him.
Can you guys light torches when you're down there?
I have some.
I need 2 hands to use a bow.
I only need 1 to swing a mace.
I can hold him.
Very good. So, who's going down first?
Well, I assume that would be me. I'm a little rotund though, so I hope I don't get stuck.
You're going to be falling probably straight down into a pool.
Yeah, you've got space. It's about a 5-foot wide gap.
Oh, right, okay.
You can cannonball in there if you wish.
Well, I think.
I'm not gonna cannonball it.
Are you able to make kind of like a grappling hook to catch onto that bridge we saw down there?
I do have some rope.
Yeah, I don't have rope. I was just checking there.
I do have some rope.
I have rope.
If there's a strong enough tree, we can anchor it on.
That's cool. I've got this.
Okay.
And Lucius is going to pull out some wooden stakes and a hammer. Start hammering them into the ground.
Okay.
And tie the rope off to the stakes.
Nice. Easily done. With your sort of woody experience, you know it needs to be solid in the ground, and you know how to sort of go about that. There'll be no check needed.
So, we drop down the line. But once we get in, there's no way out. So ready yourselves.
Except out the
Nothing
front, the
else
way
for
we
it.
got out last time. Geronimo.
I get the torch out.
That accent. Perfect.
Can I just like sneak up and stick my head over the hole? Just have a little look down.
Sure. Go ahead and make a
Wait
perception.
here. Be like, wait here. I'm gonna sneak up to the hole.
Okay, looking down the hole, so if you crawl up on your belly, looking around your obvious surroundings. There's nothing around you that makes your hair stand up on your neck or anything like that. You feel quite safe out on top here. Peering down the hole, it's like looking through a round tunnel system for about 10 feet, and then it opens out into the solid water basin. The water's obviously rushing down from the stream straight into it, and you can see where sort of in harsher weather, when the river coming towards you at the moment has been bigger, it's made a bigger hole, and now it's subsided with the fairer weather. There is much more space for you to sort of look down. There is a space for you to latch a pit on, or a wooden stake, as you said. But with your perception check, you can't see, just purely based on angles, far enough down to see what you're dropping into, apart from a water pool. The water pool, from the way the waterfall is hitting it and the way it's rippling, at best guess, it's probably at least 5 or 6 feet deep. Best guess.
Sweet.
It could be more, but it's at least that.
Excellent.
And another thing with your perception as well, the waterfall is quite loud.
So it'll cover us on the way in, probably.
You guess so. From what you're listening to, you guess it would be quite concealing.
Okay, right. I'm gonna go back over to the guys. Right. Let's get in there then. Try and be as quiet as you can. The waterfall might be able to muffle our approach.
I'll get a torch out ready so it doesn't get soaking.
Okay.
And I'll start shimmying down the little rope.
So go ahead and make me an athletics check, just to hold your own body weight and armor and weapon system as you shimmy down this rope. 7. You slip through a section of about 5 feet, and you, even through your gloves, you get this searing hot rope burn, and you're like, ah! You do let out a bit of a grunt, but you eventually stop yourself and you gingerly lower yourself until you're just drop into the water. You have to drop about 5 feet from the bottom of the rope. You have to just let go, and you drop, and you fully submerge. You don't feel the bottom at all. As you sort of come up and bobble around, very quickly with your dark vision, the other guys would be unaware of this. They haven't seen you, but there are 2 goblin sentries just on. You're in a pool of water in a sort of cave area. There's a large boulder just protruding outside of this water pool. And you can see it's been deliberately sectioned off, and there's a second water pool with another large boulder in it. And you can see, sort of as you look directly southwards, there's 2 goblin sentries. They seem to be around a small campfire, just rolling bones and stuff like that. They seem unaware and sort of uninterested in what's going on. Who's next down the road?
Spears. She's just gonna go for it.
Sure, make athletics check.
It's gonna go great. She had a dream. 17.
17.
And her raccoon is on her head, holding her hat down so it doesn't fall off in the water pool.
Sure. Weighing a lot less than Cromron, it's a lot easier of a task for you to achieve. You kind of shimmy yourself down, and being a little bit more intelligent than Cromron, you also squeeze your hamstrings and your quads, your what's the fucking word? You squeeze the inside of your legs against the shimmy down
Thighs.
feet. Thighs, that's the word I was looking for. And from about 5 feet from the bottom, you ensure that your raccoon's holding your hat. And you let go. You are dropping into darkness, unless you are looking through your raccoon's eyes.
I am.
Okay.
No to
So
give
you
me
dro-
sight.
So you are looking through your raccoon's eyes. Go ahead and make a strength check for your raccoon to hold on to you with the current of the water.
Okay.
It's not a high DC, but if you roll super low.
Yeah.
She uses the crit on this.
Did it roll? Hold on, my cat's in the way. Move, cat. Scoot. Sorry, it was blocking the little prompt.
Cool. Yeah. So you can kind of feel the little raccoon claw going through your hat and kind of just pinching like your temples a little bit. It's not uncomfortable. And it's more hair than anything, but you know he's securely on. And as you drop in the water, you fully submerge and come out. The raccoon just looks smooth, like as the fur is all just like stuck to its body, and it kind of like shakes a little bit, blinks, and you start to see through its vision. You see the two goblins on the side, and you see Cromron just sort of bobbing up and down, sort of looking around, trying to get his sort of perspective of what's going on in the area. I think next up would probably be Shu, so I'll go ahead and roll for Shu.
Oh my god, cat.
Did we do athletics or strength? We did athletics for you.
Athletics.
So yeah, Shu very gracefully, very monkey-like, just sort of handles himself down the rope, drops in with a bit of a spin, comes back up, fur matted all over his face. He looks gross. He looks like, have you ever seen those like capuchin monkeys when they're like fishing and stuff and they fall in? He looks like one. He looks like he feels sorry for himself. If that makes sense. He probably doesn't, but that's how he looks. And then we'll bring it to Lucius.
Yeah, he's gonna like, lock his feet around the rope like a brake and like ropes like that.
Yeah.
So athletics.
Also, Shabazz, for saying Geronimo, you're getting DM's inspiration.
Yay! Thank you.
Geronimo.
Like,
It's been set.
So he
you
rolled
roll?
10.
Yeah, roll the 10.
10. Yeah, easy enough. Down. Sort of get to the bottom of the rope. You just kind of gingerly sort of lower yourself as best you can. Being a lot taller than Cromron, it's probably only a sort of 3 feet drop. You straighten your body out nicely so you kind of pike into the water, making barely a sound. You come up, bobbing on the water, in darkness. You can kind of hear, like what you guys hear at the moment is just like as the water's just coming down this gap, bouncing off the rocks and hitting the water below it. What you can just about make out, Lucius, from your previous perception check, you can just about hear like soft sort of paddles from your party members in this water, and you can just hear sort of snickering, slapping feet of what you can guess to be goblins, sort of probably 10-15 feet away from you.
Just goblins 10-15 feet away.
Yeah.
And are we treading water?
You're treading water at the moment, yeah, the 4 of you.
Shabazz is just gonna swim
gonna
up to
swim
him
over.
and just carefully, like, give him a little tap, just let him know she's there.
Okay.
I'm
What
right
do you see?
here. Goblins.
Where?
She's gonna, like, grab his hand and try to point it, because pointing herself isn't gonna help.
Yeah, makes sense.
How far away is the edge?
How far away is it?
You're looking about 10 feet from you and Lucius to the edge, and 5 feet from Cromron and Shu. A little bit closer.
Yeah, it's about, about 10 or so feet. Up that
So
way.
to give the two of you who can see a better perspective, you're in a pool large boulder that's about protruding about 5 feet out of the water to your right, like 4 or 5 feet away. You have like a shoreline that's been falsely made with rocks, like loose rocks that have been obviously put into place by these goblins with like clay and wet sand to keep the water in. And then there's like a rocky shore inside this cave with 2 goblins and a small fire, which is, in fact, you would just see a small fire, Lucius. So you would be able to gauge distance. You would see their light. Hard to make out shapes completely, but you'd be able to see the distance at least. Just behind the 2 goblins is a stairwell leading up. It's quite steep, and it seems to lead up out of sight, out of your visual perspective from your angle. And to your right, you can see where the stream is going down and around to the south, and that you can tell is the stream that you were coming up towards that hit you last time. And that's where you can roughly gauge is where the small bridge was, probably 50 feet to your right hand side as you look. So it's like a large cavern, 10 feet high to the ceiling, and it's probably 50 foot wide tops.
Okay.
She says all that, but in a very good accent.
Yeah.
Okay. Lucy's gonna say, he's gonna like huddle in with everyone. Right. Cromrun, Shu, get near the shore. Me and Shabazz will get on top of the boulder.
Okay.
When you're in position, Cromrun, light a torch. And we'll take them out as quickly and as quietly as we can.
What if the torches are too weight?
Then take them down as quickly as you can.
Okay.
You guys will have to do the heavy lifting.
As always.
I got your back.
Let's move out.
She's like on his back.
So if you two wanna push forward, pushing away from the goblins is fine, but pushing towards them for Shu and I'll need a stealth check. Just to see how much closer you can get without getting void.
Expected a 1, let's be honest.
So Shu is very graceful in the water. He goes for like this very smooth styled, like Navy SEAL sort of breaststroke. He looks like a bit of a frog. It's very smooth and precise movements. And as he gets to the rocks, he kind of checks in front of himself with his little monkey paws, make sure there's no loose rocks, and he kind of just like jumps out on, so he's in like a crouch position, takes his glaive from his back and gets it ready. Cromrun, you push forward very for yourself, very quietly. The water masks any kind of noise that your chainmail makes while you're submerged. As you get out, you do hear a slight kind of like metal on metal rubbing. You pause for a moment, but the 2 goblins just seem to be almost deliberating over these bones that they're rolling. And as you see them kind of hunched over by the fire, one's got his arm.
Are they by a fire?
Yeah, I did say that. They're by a small fire. You can.
Oh, so I can see him.
Yeah, it's a very small sort of like grapefruit-sized fire. It's not letting off too much light, but you can distance. You can see their figures and their shapes, but it'd be very hard for you to be precise in where they are. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cromrun and Shu push up, and you can see this one goblin got his hand on the other goblin's head, and he's kind of shaking him, and the other goblin's kind of just squeezing his 2 fists together, as if he's refusing to let go of something. So they look quite distracted. And they start shouting at each other.
I'm gonna just hit the shit out of them then.
As you're about to approach, the one goblin just slaps the other one, boom, right around his chin, and one's like on the floor and looks up, roll an attack. You're gonna go and bosh him, and I say shoot with you as well. And you got advantage on the attack.
Alright, okay. Oh, that's disadvantage. Don't want to do that.
So Shu rushes up. So the one that kind of gets slapped and hits the deck as he looks up, Shu just runs along and he's like, and just like shoves the glaive like down its face, and like into its, it goes like into its nose, and like comes out its back near where its spine is. It's just insta killed. Where the crit was gonna do more than 7 damage, I'm sure.
I'll be back in a sec. I think someone's just drove into my van outside. One sec.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh, that was
No.
Yeah.
Crumrun, because this one is unarmored at the moment because he's just in. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh yeah, you just rush up with your mace and you just kind of, and you just turn his face to mush, and
Yeah.
embed his head into his shoulder blades, and it takes you like a second to like get your mace loose. You're trying to like pull it through the bones without making too much noise, and the two bodies are just on the floor and they're starting to bleed out. What do you do?
Can we now see down? So was there a path in front of these guys, or was it?
Yeah, there's the steps going directly up, so it would be southerly in direction, but they're going. It's quite a steep gradient. These steps. There's about 40 steps, and it goes up for about probably 15 feet in height and about 10 feet in distance away from you.
Gonna drag the bodies into the water then, so they're kind of out of sight.
Oh, nice.
If anyone looks down, they won't see them.
You and Shu just kind of silently look each other, grab a body each, shimmy back to the water, and just sort of let them into the water. And they just kind of like, it takes about 20 seconds, Shabazz, and you've seen what they're doing through your dark vision, but you start to feel this like bump right next to this goblin body's just sort of like, just completely like fucked up in the water, just kind of like floating on top, just bouncing into the rocks. But it's concealed. Starting to go cold quite quick for anyone that relies on sort of heat-based vision. Wouldn't see it for much longer. Shu starts to shove a few berries in his mouth. He looks quite content with himself. He doesn't look impressed or upset in any way. He just looks really blank. Just eating berries.
Sociopath.
Hasn't affected him at all.
So, from where we are, can we tell if this is another one of these water traps?
Make a wisdom check for me.
Would
Nah,
that be this?
It's sorted, man. It's hit my wall.
Oh shit! What did he do? Reverse into it?
Yeah, but his airbags have deployed and everything. It's done
No.
Oh,
You just
man.
left him to it.
Yeah. I was like, I took some pictures and everything. I was just like, saying, mate.
Oh, bless him.
I think.
But
I
he's on
don't-
his way home as well.
Yeah.
Oh, sucks.
What's that?
What to tell Crumrun?
Okay.
What's happened?
They
So,
killed everybody.
Goblins just got absolutely wasted.
Sweet.
They're now like floating next to you in the water, just kind of bouncing off the rocks, the two dead bodies. The four of you, are you staying on the shore, Crumrun?
Yes.
Okay, you and Shu stay on the shore together. So 2 goblins down. Stairwell in front of you, or you can, from where you're looking, you can go right, and that's where the bridge and stuff would have been, if you remember. So you have to go down like a channel, like a small tunnel that's about 7 or 8 feet high, 4 or 5 feet wide, and in that direction is where the tunnel is. A lower stairwell that's going down and out towards the entrance of the cave, from what you can gather.
Gonna maybe beckon for the guys to come over who are on the rock.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him know that we're being beckoned. They want us to go over there.
Okay. Lead the way.
I'm gonna lead him. Like in one of those pictures where the girlfriend's leading him off to like the waterfall.
I can't see anything, so it doesn't matter.
It's majestic.
So, good work, guys. As I see the bodies by the fire.
No, they're in the water.
Oh. as I see that they've disappeared.
Yeah.
Good work, guys. So, what's the way out of here?
Well, I reckon that way goes towards the bridge that we've seen. And that one goes up. Do you think we should sabotage the bridge?
You might
In
need
case
it.
anyone tries to follow. Oh, well, that's true.
It goes
Yeah.
across the water.
We don't want to try climbing back up out the waterfall if we can help it.
It's a good
Right. Can one of you light a torch so I can see?
Yeah, I'll get a torch out and try and light it.
Yeah, it should like after it takes you about 30 seconds or so trying to spark the tinderbox, but eventually it catches the oil that's soaked into the rags and stuff catches.
So I've got my shields off for now. I'll carry the
Okay,
torch in my mace.
no problem.
Are we gonna go up then?
Where was the... Lucy's trying to think back to when... Because didn't we see where the hostage was being held before?
You were close to. No, you didn't. You heard him message like arcanely. You didn't see him.
Alright. Maybe we should go up first.
Wasn't there 2 other goblins around us?
Hmm? No, you got rid of the two sentries that you could see
Oh,
at this
okay.
point.
Okay, so I can see now because he's got a torch, right?
Be careful of quicksand.
I'm not that cruel. Not that
Lucy's gonna be next to Cromrun. He's gonna say, let's go this way. Up there.
I'll slowly make my way that way, watching for traps. And look for...
Yeah, I'm looking for traps too.
Okay, roll investigation check, both of you. Whichever. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Someone almost hit your car. Or your wall.
Yeah, nearly hit it.
That's good, Lou. Just in case.
He hit the wall.
There's a spate of crashes all over the country. Did he
Well,
go like?
that finding another way in worked pretty well.
Maybe,
know, right?
maybe. Do you want to take 5, guys? Because I need to go find something.
Okay.
Section.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll grab a drink.
Grab brews and stuff. Back at 20 past.
Alright.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
I can't find you. 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 I can't find I can't find I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find
I'm gonna lead you downwards. Okay. So up, straight up. Okay. Or you've got this tunnel here. Tea ladies here. Oh shit, the bed. I'm gonna panic. Also, quickly, just watch this before we shoot off. Think it melee. Need a second.
I feel left out now.
I know. I don't have tea. I don't have a
No,
me.
no tea, not getting to see the meme videos.
It's the funniest. I can't even send it to you guys. Let me try and send it to you. It's on Instagram, so unless you're on Instagram,
Nah.
I don't think I am, but I may have an account, and I've got an account for pretty much everything.
well, you'll have to miss it. It's literally a little girl running into a solid metal pipe and head first crashes her forehead on it. It's
That's a shame.
Thing?
Fuck.
it's the face you pull the shit. It's comical, so we slowed it down. It's brilliant. Okay, so you're going south up the stairs.
Yeah.
Investigation. Okay. 1 sec.
Just to give you some reference, Vim, last time we played this map, he put quicksand right here
Oh Jesus.
and right here, and it nearly wiped our party.
You were
That's-
rolling super low there.
Wait, I always roll low.
It was like, I'm gonna try and pull him out, he's unconscious. And I was, oh fuck, not one. He pulls you in. Okay. So, what's the order of march here?
Side by side with Lucius if we can. I don't know how.
You can probably go 2 by 2.
Yeah.
You won't be able to go so away.
2 ranges in the back. And,
And you've got a
2
torch, right?
squishies in front.
Yes.
Okay. Are you trying to stealth or are you just... Okay.
But
So-
we're carrying a torch.
I could carry the
Yeah.
torch for you.
You're just trying to be cautious of where you're going. Okay.
Is he gonna give Shabazz the torch?
Do you want the torch?
Well, yeah, I don't need to hold a shield or a mallet. So.
Please. And I'll hand her the torch then. And that means I can
Okay.
put my shield out and be more protected.
Okay. And is it like, are you going as a, like a, is there any distance between you guys? Are you making movement between each other, staying far? How's it look?
Well, I'd like add water. So,
Yeah.
but they're gonna be, I guess, more up in
Mhm.
front.
Okay. Okay. You and Cromron are going up, sort of footstep for footstep, and
Oh, right, okay.
Is Mike back? Or are you
Uh,
moving him?
I'll just move them because it's gonna be funny. No.
Dodge.
So, you start to climb these stairs. You get about 10 feet up the stairs, and you notice there is light, sort of flashing on the ceiling above you. You can now see the roof of the sort of chamber that you're about to approach into. You haven't seen over the lip yet. You can see like sort of firelight flashing on the shiny and the sort of damp ceiling. You can see where the moisture is reflecting this light back and around in different directions. The ceiling from when you get to the lip at the top of the stairs will be about 20 feet above you. And as you guys progress up, you start to hear goblinoid voices. Do any of you speak Goblin?
No.
We sorted this before you don't do it.
Yeah.
It's similar, but the dialect, it's similar in harsh tone, but as weirdly as it sounds, the Goblin version is a lot more simple. It's a lot more vulgar in tone of short, sharp swear words, bad names, usually calling somebody a stink bucket or a turd face or something like that. Yeah, exactly like that.
Who are you talking to?
Is that a question for me?
Oh, I have Mike muted.
Oh.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
I'm like, what's going on?
So yeah, you push up.
That's how good at stealth my character is. I've disappeared on things.
And as your torchlight and the rest and your party group together pressed over the mound, you see in front of you a now alert, two, because they've seen the torchlight coming up the stairs, 2 goblins, a large bugbear, and a very large wolf. All sort of stop what they're doing, like the bugbear's like chowing down on something that could be a child's leg, it could be a large turkey bone, it's hard to say. The wolf is chewing in this bit of carcass, and the 2 goblins are sort of around the fire, arguing. They all stop and look at you, and there's an instant where you're looking at them and they're looking at you, and then this large bugbear reaches for a large club, brings it round, he's like, boom! You in Clog home! Clog curse you! Eat your bones! Attack! And points to his goblins to attack you.
I want to try and drop the bugbear.
Okay, we're all going to roll initiative. Let me just initiative marker up. Turn order is up, so click on your token. Give me a second for this.
The natural order of things.
Add turn. I'll work the two goblins. No, what I'll do is I must delete everything.
I'm glad you took that torch so I could have my shield back, because I'm gonna be
Uh,
taking a pummeling for the next.
We
9
got
rounds.
so there's a red goblin and a blue goblin. I think that should hopefully show up on a turn. Or it doesn't. But we'll sort that out. So
Are they on the map?
I'll show you the map in a sec. I'm just getting everything squared away. Beastery. So we got a bugbear. Minimize. No, minimize. Got goblin house. Minimize. And then we got Wolfia. Okay, so bugbear is got to go ahead and roll. Hopefully this will work. His initiative. Oh, it doesn't have one for NPCs. Do I just roll Dex for initiative? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's Dex.
Don't know if that worked. Did it come up as 18? Clark is on 18. And then the Wolfio is. And then the two goblins. I'll roll this twice. Wow. These are big motherfuckers. So we've got a goblin at 18. Goblin at 16. 18, 16. And what was the wolf? 19. Oh no, one of the goblins is at 20. Sorry. The wolf was at 16. Alright. Awesome. Just turn order. Sending. Oh, Chrome with a 1, dude.
Yay!
And
Hey, I've got 11, but it might as well be like a 2 because everyone else rolled way above that.
Mine is technically a 0 because I actually rolled a 1. That's a -1.
you guys would be like, yeah. Shu wouldn't be hiding behind you. Right there. And I will reveal this to you guys. That's what you see. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So, who's first up? Goblin red. So the 20 is red. Seeing you guys, he's going to be like, oh shit, scrambles, grabs his short bow, knocks an arrow. From being the first one through the door, he's going to go ahead and fire at you. And that will be a 22 to hit.
Yes.
Or piercing damage as it kind of like snapshots the arrow at you, catches you right in the shin, just below the right knee, and just sort of rocks your leg slightly. It's like, I'll crush you. And he runs behind this little sort of culvert here and gets out of the way. With his movement, that's the direction he ran in, and then he's going to go ahead and bonus action stealth to try and hide from you guys. And you guys all hear him chuckling still under his breath as he brings us to Clark.
How much damage did I take? I don't need to-
4, mate. 4 piercing damage.
Oh,
It comes up. Does it not show you?
I'm not seeing it in chat, no.
Are these all? Oh, why are they all rolling to GM? Have you guys not seen any of these rolls?
No,
No.
I just assume you're doing it
Shit.
in
No,
person.
no. I'm supposed to be doing it in front of you guys. Give me a sec. Is there any way I can like adjust it to always roll normal? Or has to
Yeah.
come out?
It's an NPC, right?
Yeah.
If you go to the little toolbox right
Yeah.
next to the like the gear, it should let you
Yeah.
toggle it.
On the character sheets.
Yeah, on the character sheet.
Ah, okay, that's probably why I fucked up. And then NPC, always roll advantage. No. Query advantage. No. I'll just put always a roll advantage, and we can just take the show. Oh, always whisper rolls. Sorry. Never whisper rolls. Do I have to do that for every NPC?
Yeah,
Or should it just
there
be
is
one?
a way to do it globally, but you have to like leave the game.
Yeah, I'll do that for the next game. Sorry about this, guy.
It's okay.
For a moment.
DM Pain 101.
Yeah, I wanted the roles to be nice and open for this game.
Mm.
Can make it a bit fairer. Almost there. One more. So you haven't been seeing shoes rolls then, have you? Have you been seeing shoes?
No.
Yeah.
Have we?
Well, we have, but it's because he's not an NPC, so it's not default to it. It's from his
Okay.
character sheet.
Right, so just so you guys are aware, the last roll that I did was a stealth roll and he rolled an 8. Which is why I said you'd still hear him chuckling behind the corner. Clark is up. And he's gonna go ahead. Oh, my character sheet looks fucking bad. Get rid of that toggle. He's gonna go ahead. Attacks included. And throw a javelin at Lucius as he can see you. He's seen as Crom takes this arrow just below the knee and he sort of lowers him down. This javelin comes hurling towards you, Lucius, aiming for the chest. With a 15 to hit,
That hits.
11 piercing damage.
Holy shit.
Clark throws his only one and only javelin at
Oh shit.
and he stands up with, "Welcome, Clark's house. Pretty human, I eat you, you fool." And he just waits, laughing at you for the end of his turn. Shabazz, you're about to be fired upon as you're the third person through that door by the second goblin.
Okay.
Short bow.
Fuck.
Crit to hit. For 10 piercing damage as he just fires and it catches you right under the chin and just takes a gash out of your neck. And you're like panicked for a minute thinking he's missed it, but he's taken a lot of your jaw muscle away and you're in bad state. Are you looking health wise?
4.
Both of you, Mike?
I'm on 9 hit points.
Okay. And then the goblin, thinking that's terribly funny, is gonna move his distance 5, 10, 15, 20 to this direction, and he's gonna go ahead and stealth before he moves the last bit. What am I looking for? Because he can bonus action stealth. Does any of your passive perception beat 17?
Nope.
Okay, then he's gonna move the rest of his 10 feet movement. So you've got a rough idea wherever he is because of the speed he travelled at, but it's hard to make out. Okay, who's next?
Shoot.
Shu. Shu's got at level 2. What's he got distance wise? 40 feet of speed. He's got an AC of 15. He would rush in, I guess. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's 40 feet, he can go 5, 10, 15. Would he go to Clark, the wolf, or the goblins?
Probably the goblins to get them off.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can find this goblin easy enough. Go ahead. Does he just get one attack? Has he got the key points of it?
I think he gets
I think
flurry
it
of
just-
blows. And that's
Yeah, so
But don't
he'll
want
take-
attack with a bonus action though.
I don't think they do.
I
I
thought they
think,
could.
I think it's a bonus action to spend a key point or, say, a flurry of blows with 2 unarmed strikes, right? Or an unarmed strike.
I don't know. We'll go with that. I'll look it up.
Okay, so the first attack's a 7. He's going to miss it. So then he'll go ahead and flurry of blows. I've got it here. Immediately after you take an attack action on your turn, you spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes. He's going to make 2 and lower one of his key points. 1.
Yeah, you can also make 1 for free.
Okay.
1 attack for free.
Oh, okay. A 7, a 7, and a 6. So Shu's just rushing this goblin in a state of rage. Just like, miss, miss, miss. Oh my god, they're the worst rolls I've done for fucking ages.
Ugh. You're kind of happy he's not here to see this.
Yeah. Somebody want to post that for me?
I was just gonna actually take a picture and send it to him.
Well, I'm still
Um,
recording right now, so I'll see it.
So that's Shu. Next up, oh my god, guys, you guys rolled so low.
I know.
Next up is the wolf. He's going to rush straight in at Crom. And take a bite attack. I think it's a bite attack. He doesn't have pack tactics on this yet. With a 12 to hit Crom.
No.
No. He rushes in, you just use your offhand grab. Still got your shield on.
I was talking my shield up, sorry, did you say?
Yeah.
Yes,
You-
I have, yes, I have.
You kind of shove it in its mouth and just kind of rush it to the side where it's tried to fuck off. As it's like snarling, it's left all spit all. And you can see this wolf's face is all cut and bit up, and half the flesh that covers its sort of top canines is missing. Dog's like, get him, Ripper! Get him, Ripper! Shabazz, you're up.
Alright. So I'm gonna move to about. I want to kind of get here, kind of right next to him.
Easy enough. 5 feet movement.
And I want to Burning Hands these two.
So deck saves for them, is it?
Deck saves. Yeah. Let me get.
Bugbear gets an 11, and Orfeo gets 16.
16. So the wolf actually saves, but
Does he take half damage?
let me see. Burning Hands, Burning Hands. I don't have them all set to automatically show.
It's fine.
Half damage.
So 6.
6 for him, and then 13 for Bugbear.
Nice. That's good.
So she's just gonna stand up, fire, just like she's got glasses, so that just fills with flames. So she's just really pissed off and can't talk because the arrow. But just burning hands.
Nice. You just kind of like cone your hands from each. This flame just like fills this area in a cone. In fact, is it a cone? If
It's a
this was
cone.
the end of the cone, 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna go ahead and chuck this guy in the mix as well. You can't see him, but I can. He fails,
Miserably.
takes 13 points of damage, and is super dead.
Sweet.
So you just hear this echoing from an unknown location beyond that rock, and he's just like dead as you kill the little hidden goblin. Also,
Nice. And then she's going to.
what is there?
I don't think she can move back without taking an attack of opportunity, so she'll stay right there.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be in the same square. Oh, yeah, you right. No, right. Okay, so Lucius.
Oh yeah, Lucius holds up his bow. He's gonna be like, my turn, as he looks at the injury from the javelin. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the bugbear.
Yes. No spell slots, dudes.
Oh,
I'm
let's go do
gonna
6
make
damage.
that a 7. That's a to hit, or a 6 to hit, right?
No, that's not to hit. That's just his hunter's mark.
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
Hunter's
okay, never
Mark.
mind.
So I'm gonna do a big boy attack on this guy.
Okay.
Sharpshooter attack on the bugbear.
Okay.
Let's go. Oof.
21 hits.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that's
6 damage from Hunter's Mark plus
Yeah.
18, so that's 24
Oh
damage.
man, he is fucking. You just kind of. How do you want to do this?
Lucius just goes, my turn, lifts his bow like super calmly, draws, fires, nails him like right in between the eyes, and he just skids to the back of the room like over
Oh,
his.
nice. Yeah, he's just in this pile of rubble now, like an arrow in between his. You can just hear him, like, it seems more like a nervous, like a response from his nervous system, but it's just kind of like log, and he's like slowly like fading out. Brings us to, is that you, Lucius? Bonus action, any movement?
Use my bonus action on Hunter's Mark. I think I just step to cover here slightly.
Nice, mate, nice. Crumb, you're up.
I see the absolute state of Shabaz's neck, and I will healing word
Nice.
first of all. 6 healing.
Nice.
Is that a kind of like a Marden, heal this woman?
Yes, heal the woman, and then like a little flash of fire right up her neck.
Nice. Yeah, you get that searing sort of heat and smell of like burnt flesh, Shabazz, as if you've put like a hot iron on yourself. But you don't get any pain. If anything, you get a warm tingling that feels pretty decent.
And the
That
arrow's
was my
out,
bonus
right?
action.
So it's gonna heal around it.
Mhm.
Good.
And then with my main action, I'm just gonna pound the shit out of this wolf.
Go for it. Roll attack. Hits. Roll damage. Nice.
Oh, nice. Just
Get some.
cave it in.
You kind of take your mace in the air, and then you grab it with your shield hand as well. Boom! In between your legs, you just crush this wolf. As it was about to pounce at you, you time it perfectly to just take its skull into the ground, and you kind of like, with a blunt weapon, split its skull in half, and like it's mushed up on either side of your mace. Like you kind of have to like pull it, and it's just like stringy, fleshy, bloody shit as you're retrieving your weapon back. Sphinx dead.
Just kind of clean it on its fur a bit. Guts off it. And I will move just over a bit to see what's happening around the corner.
Okay.
And that's
Alright.
my turn.
So now it's the goblin that's in melee with Shu. He's going to go ahead and just chucks his bow on the floor, pulls out his scimitar, and just tries to lunge it into the chest of Shu. For a 22. He just kind of gets through his armor, or through Shu's sort of movement, catches him under, like he's aiming for his chest, but he catches him just under his left arm, and like, raises the blade, pulls it down, sees that there's blood on the blade, and starts laughing at Shu. And then he's going to bonus action disengage. 5, 10, and he's going to slide down the chute. 15, 20, 25, 30, outside. And as he's running, he's like, "No kill cog! No! Super angry and like almost like he doesn't believe what's happened as he's running away. A Shu takes 5 damage. With that, guys, that seems to be the end of that combat. How do you guys want to act in this instant? Unless you want to chase down that goblin, though.
I want to see if I can at least see him from, like, here.
So you rush up to that gap.
Yeah. Not
it's
going,
a-
like, down it,
a
but...
10, yeah, it's like a 10-foot drop straight down. It's like a slide almost. It's not completely straight. It's like a very steep gradient. You can almost slide down on your bum, or if you're if you're like panicking and trying to get away, it can take the small hit, and it leads into what smells like outside, and a shit ton of like dog shit and fur and wet dog. You remember this from the entrance
Yeah.
where the wolves were. You don't see the goblin though; is too far away from your visual perspective.
Alright.
Lucy's just gonna have a quick look around in here and see what's stuff in.
Anyone that's looking for shit, go ahead and roll in.
I specifically want to check the thing that they were eating and see if it looks humanoid.
Okay,
Yay! Second crit.
nice. Okay. Crom to Shabazz, what are you looking for? Just junk and gear and stuff?
Yeah, looking for like hoping to find magic books and stuff.
Okay.
Scrolls.
Crom, to answer your question, best of your knowledge, it's completely naked, but it does look like the leg of a child.
A child specifically.
Yeah, it's quite small, or maybe like a young halfling. It's hard to tell. Human, maybe. Skinny in frame. It's not quite the structure of a dog. It doesn't look like any animal you know, unless it's just a very pale small goblin. It's hard to tell with your 9. Excuse me. Let me just read what's in here, guys. Also get some notes of my own. So give me a sec. Lucius and Shabazz, you see. Lucius, you see most of this first. 'Cause this will give you the 23 to 9 sort of balance. There's like a pile of like sacks and boxes. The sort of that Clark was kind of using. He's kind of stacked. He's now sitting in his own throne with an arrow. He looks like he's got his like finger trying to press the arrow between his eyes. Stiff as bone there. Most of the boxes and sacks are marked with the image of a blue lion, which you guys would have seen in Fandelvin. Is the image of the Lion Shield Costa, which is the armor you guys were looking at when you were perusing the shopping and stuff. It's kind of like a merchant company and trading. Hidden amongst the supplies is an unlocked treasure chest. I'll tell you what's inside there in a second. So there's quite a lot of supply. You know, couldn't carry this. Like there's like food and mining materials and stuff for merchants like flour and potions and stuff like that, like different oils, lantern oils and stuff. You couldn't carry it all. If you got a horse and cart in here, you could easily take it back with you, or you could send somebody with. There's 600 copper pieces, 110 silver pieces, 2 potions of healing, a jade statuette of a frog with tiny golden orbs for eyes.
Whoa, hang on. Where?
So 600 copper pieces.
Alright, I'll just put it on. I'm finding it first, right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on mine for now, and then we'll do
This is in the small treasure sort of coffer that you found that was open.
Okay.
Right next to the dog. 110 silver pieces.
Yeah.
600 copper, 110 silver, 2 potions of healing, standard.
Okay, I'm gonna. As soon as I find them, I'm gonna tuck one in my belt, and hand one to Shabazz.
Okay. As you remove these from this chest in your pocket and you chuck one to Shabazz, underneath them, under like a small cloth, you see a jade statuette of a frog with tiny golden orbs for eyes. Just looking at it, you're like, oh shit, this is worth some.
Very nice.
Um,
I'm gonna just pocket that for now.
and then you see a leather tube that's about sort of half a foot wide, about 2 inches in diameter. You can hear something inside it as you pop off the cork sort of topper and look inside. You see a rolled up scroll inside. Just a quick glance without taking it out, sort of touching it, you can see it's worth, it's got some very elaborate writings and stuff on it.
Is it like a magic scroll or?
To take a proper look, yeah, you would guess it is.
Oh yeah. I look at it and go, oh, it's this wizard school shit. And I just throw it to Shabazz.
Yes. Any
Okay.
steamy romance novels?
Right, guys, we'll do it.
There's a collection of books and stuff that seem to be part of. You can see this is the collection of books is there's a few things on the history of Waterdeep, trade and negotiations from the 1800s. This, that, and the other. Just kind of like history and sort of fiction, factual books, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's for them.
Lucius is going to say, right, guys, we'll divvy this up later. We need to go further into the cave. Try and find our men.
Right.
Hopefully Sildar's still alive.
Yeah. Let's not follow them down that crapshoot. Let's go back to the chamber with the water and head around that way. You ready,
Oh.
guys?
Yep. I'll just start heading that way straight away.
I'm gonna aim my bow above his head.
Okay. So you same sort of order of march.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. So, are you gonna push on, not down these stairs, but this way now?
What, this way?
Yeah.
Again? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So as you push on, is this your order of march? Are you stealthing or anything?
I'll tell people to try and be quiet.
Okay. Are you still carrying the torch?
Does he still want me to?
If it's dark, yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what I'll say is, if you're carrying the torch, most work on like dark vision. If you're carrying the torch, roll stealth with disadvantage. Should be the fairest way to do it. If you're not carrying the torch, just roll flat stealth.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll with disadvantage.
I'm just gonna roll flat.
I always roll disadvantage.
Yeah, we're not sneaky boys.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
There's no point in me rolling for sure, even if you crit, you just wouldn't hear him. At the back of the party anyway.
Yeah.
So, from being at the front with your two, you just kind of charge around this corner, where you see immediately who was sleeping sentry, who is kind of startled and sort of come around as you have come around the corner. You see a bridge, and on the opposite side of that bridge, you see another sentry. I'm gonna they are in the GM layout. I'm gonna reveal them to you guys now. You don't have any surprise on them, but what I will give you is first chance. You guys
First
being
chance.
there.
I've
You
got
can-
aim lower to them, mate. I've got...
So you guys can tell me what you do immediately.
Firebolt.
Okay, but you don't get like the surprise round.
No.
Because they have seen you and they can quite easily jump out of the way. But I will let you roll. So
Okay.
roll for your firebolt.
Okay, I want to shoot one.
Roll for your attack. Crom. Doing anything?
Sacred Flame. To
Ah,
attack
I'll
you.
say I think Shu would also have his. Has he got a longbow or a short bow? He's got one of the other. He can't see them from where he is anyway. So he.
I want to move the hunter's mark to this one at the back and shoot him.
Okay, easily done. So 15 will hit. Roll damage for Shabazz.
Let's go longbow.
Can I use my 20 there?
You want? No.
No, I can't.
Well, you could use the 20 instead of the 15.
Mm,
You get to automatically roll a second dice.
no, I kind of want to save that natural 20
fine.
for.
So yeah, you kind of see around the corner and you're like, oh shit! And you just rush this firebolt out and you kind of didn't get enough. As the torch is like falling to the floor, you kind of put your hands together and just lash out. You're like, oh, I could have charged that a bit more. It hits him right in the chest and he's kind of like,
Yeah, it was a panic burst.
yeah, it was kind of just like a spark almost from like a fall. Lucius, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So I'm shooting the one at the back, so it's gonna
Yeah. Plus
10
the-
plus.
Oh,
I want to roll it. 13 piercing to the one at the back.
due to the extra damage, both lungs. It hits him in the side of the chest, goes through both lungs, and he just kind of goes, and just like gently like slides down the rocks, silently dead on the floor. Doesn't seem to have made any noise with the damage that you caused him. The other one, however, is looking at you all. Crom, did you say you're going to do anything?
I was gonna Sacred Flames, who's gonna make a deck save as well.
A deck save, sorry. That's a fail. Roll damage.
6 damage.
So, to the way this goblin sees this, he sees a spark hit him, and he's like, big smile comes across his face as this arrow just goes straight past him, and he doesn't hear a scream. He's like, miss, and goes to run at you, and then this spark just goes. Just in flame. As he just like he's running towards you and just drops on the deck.
Nice.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Right, coast looks clear, straight ahead of you guys. You got a bridge to cross. How do you wish to proceed?
Cautiously checking for traps on the bridge.
Okay.
Think stealth
Yeah.
out the window at this point. Yes, I'll move up to the bridge and kind of just
Okay.
check and make sure there's nothing,
Sure.
no frayed ropes gonna fall on us or.
Check for traps. Roll me investigation check.
18?
18. Okay, so a rickety bridge spans the passage connecting the two tunnels. They're about 20 feet above the water from here, guys, so a decent way down. You don't notice any traps, and as you progress across the bridge, you instantly realise, Clark, because of your investigation, that this bridge probably only take one person at a time. It's okay with this sense, but if you were to be running, like you know that would have been a bad deal. So you can cautiously transfer across the bridge one at a time. You're probably at least safe with your investigation check. So I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'll go
No running.
So yeah, you know for like future preference that 20-foot drop, that bridge can just about take you one at a time. But you feel the weakness come from like the actual anchor points of the bridge rather than the actual panels itself. Feels like it's about to just fall, like sandwich it on itself, if anything. Weak timbers, etc. So I'll reveal what you guys can see and how you want to proceed. You do see that guy, by the way. There was a sleeping sentry. I say sleeping, he just looks to be like he's got like a little dagger, and he's just kind of cleaning his toenails. Sat on the floor, hunched up, with a little there's light coming from behind him. He just seems a bit not uninterested, but just a bit like distracted from the world. He looks like he's just musing about.
I'm gonna grab hold of Crom's shoulder.
Hello?
Can
Okay.
everyone hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
I can hear you now.
Right. He's just gonna grab Crom on the shoulder and be like, Crom,
This one's for you.
yeah, just stay still.
Let's be very still.
And I wanna try and sneak up a bit close to the goblin so I can shoot him.
Okay, so you need to bring yourself to like this point here. Oh shit, what's going on? I'll reveal areas. Like this square here, so you can get a straight line shot on him. What was your stealth previously?
Am I still on that stuff?
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
It was like a 8. I didn't realise. I probably wouldn't have done that then.
Okay. You don't realise how stealthy you are. You don't realise you've rolled an 8. But you creep up. You kind of like. And he's still got his like dagger in his toes, so as he's cleaning his toes, kind of looks in your direction
Just shoot him.
and far away.
The hunter's mark. Shoot him.
Okay.
Is he surprised or not?
Not with your 8.
Okay.
Shot off, but he's not surprised. Hits, roll damage.
7 plus 2 for 9.
Okay. He kind of looks at you, and he's just about to like call out, and you just flush this arrow into its chest, and it kind of stumbles a little bit.
Oh, I want to do that thing where you run up and catch the body.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Then I'm gonna like commando drag him back to the group.
Easily done. You drag his little ass. Like he's not even kicking and screaming. He's dead by the time you get to him. You're just kind of like take the arrow out. I guess you've been collecting your arrows on the way through.
Well, I've just been expending them on my sheet.
Okay, so best way to do this, say if you're doing what Doc did to me all the time, saying, "Can I search for arrows?" If you miss, the arrow shatters. If you hit, you can get it back.
Sweet, I'll remember that in future.
There, yeah. Just saves us going. How many arrows do I find?
Fair enough, that makes sense.
Um,
You hit walls and stuff, it'll just break.
Yeah. Or you just lose it because it's in the fucking Hulu somewhere. Awesome. He's subdued. He's fucking out for the count, dead.
And then it would be like, Crom, keep moving. Take the passage to the right.
Lucius, as you rushed up, I'll say, what's your passive perception?
Oh,
It's pretty decent.
14.
14. You would have seen that this chamber, where he was sitting, is the entrance to a chamber, and you would have seen 2 sections: a lower section and an upper section that's about 15 feet higher. And you would have just caught a glimpse of a set of stairs and a sort of cacophony of goblinoid voices, all just chatting amongst themselves. None of them seem to have heard you as you got closer. So you've got a rough idea what you're going into. Is probably a similar sized cavern to what you just went in where you killed Clark. But it's in 2 sections, a lower and a higher section.
Okay, I'm gonna get something ready then.
Okay.
There's like, I took a scrap of cloth off a goblin last session. And I want to use my flask of oil to make a petrol bomb with it.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So, do you want to roll to see if you make it successfully?
Well, yeah. I've just got to put the rag in the bottle and dip it in the bottle.
Okay, so we'll just roll to throw it. So,
I'm going to do that when we go in.
I'll say it's got probably a is it a 10-foot splash area? So 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. So a square of 10 by 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll just draw it for you.
I'm just going to say to the group, there's a lot of them ahead as I'm making this petrol bomb. And I'm going to say, Shoo, Crom, charge in. Me and Shabazz will back you up.
Gotcha. I'll start rushing in.
Should I,
You can do like,
Assuming the shoe's with me.
you can do like that big a square with it. That makes
Sweet.
sense. I'll do 1d6 fire damage on anything in that square.
1d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy?
Is that when they start their turn there, or
No, as soon as it.
so it doesn't stay alight?
Roll me.
I think there is rules for it, man. Shall I have a look?
There probably is, yeah. If you know there's a rule for it, I'm just trying.
I think there is. I think it might even not be that good. Let's have a look.
D&D petrol bombs. Let's have a go.
D&D petrol bombs.
I'm just comparing
Okay,
it to like a
okay.
cantrip. A
Okay,
cantrip wouldn't be that potent. So.
Okay, it's 20-foot range. It does. You can. There's 2 options here. So you treat you treat it as an improvised ranged weapon. So I just add my dex to throw it.
Yeah.
This is if I'm aiming it at one creature.
Mhm.
So if I aim it at one creature, it says they take 5 fire damage from the burning oil.
Yeah.
but if you cover it on the ground, there's a 5 by 5 foot square. It burns for 2 rounds, dealing 5 fire damage.
Okay.
If anyone's in it.
Well, we're doing it for a 10-foot square for 2 rounds of 1d6. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
That
No.
sounds better, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds more badass. It sounds more relevant as well. But I can't have it like overpowering.
Yeah.
You know. But it's cool. Yeah, so that's prepared. You light it. We gotta go. What are the rest of you two doing? What are you doing?
I think.
I see that light and I'm like, oh god, let's go. And I go. Gonna grab Shu and start running.
Okay, so you and Shu are gonna lead the way.
Yep.
I'm moving right behind them with my petrol bomb.
Okay, so as you rush in to the lower level, Crom, you can get full movement if you wanted to get into melee. There is, as you rush around the corner, you see 4 goblins. Sort of, they've heard you coming down the corridor because you're running in chainmail. You can see them all rushing around trying to get their weapons from like bedrolls and stuff. You run in the room. There's 4 of them, very close together. Do you want to get in the mix?
Yep, straight to melee and just swing.
Okay, so I'll bring you on the map in a sec. Shu's gonna follow in, and Shabazz, I'm gonna guess you're gonna get just so you can see them.
Yeah.
I'd be
And
like,
for Lucius. Okay, so we reveal areas and bring up a turn order. What you guys can see.
oh,
So
I want to get good initiative so bad.
reveal areas. Click off that. Turn order is on. Click on your tokens, guys, and roll me some more fucking initiative. So 1, 2.
Initiative be good.
Why did we even try?
Oh, 11. That's not bad.
I'm gonna make mine a 17. Fuck it.
So
Like,
I've got
I
a
felt really
17,
slow,
20,
but
18. I tell you what, just to speed this shit up, the goblins all go on 17 because that's their lowest, and the 2 things that you don't see that have come up as goblins but they're the same stats, they'll move on a 3. Okay, fair.
okay. Are they gonna go before or after me?
Oh fuck, they're going on 18. Just easy. Fuck, what's your dex? You got a plus 2.
I do have a +2.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Roll d20.
Roll a d20. Okay.
I got a fuck. Yeah, okay, you go first.
Okay. I am going to just, because they're about to fuck our shit up, I'm gonna just sleep them.
Nice.
Yeah.
18. How many does that take out?
18, so 7, 14, 2. Which 2 do you want to go?
Let's go with the back 2, because they're least likely to get hit immediately and wake up.
Okay, 1 sec.
Oh.
That music bot was inactive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he's buggered off.
Shit, anyway. Too weirdly loud and stuff. Why is this being stupid? There we go.
I'm gonna throw a petrol bomb.
So I'll just roll him on a 1. And the guy around him. So, yeah. Which 2 did you say the back 2?
Yeah, the back 2.
That one and the 2 that I just took tokens on, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys, now you've entered this room. Shabazz, what's your spell look like? Does it have any like visual effects, sound effects, anything like that?
I think like her whole body just kind of glow blue and her eyes just kind of glowing as well as she's moving her hands and just jiggly until they just kind of fall asleep.
You know. 1 sec. Copy. And 1 sec. Did that play? A little bit of battle music going on just for some ambience. So those 2 drop to sleep. That's Shabazz's turn. Up next is Lucius.
No, the goblins.
Oh, goblins. Sorry. Goblins, the two that are in contact, they're just going to go ahead. One's going to try and attack Crumb, one's going to try and attack Shu. So first one onto Shu is a 12 to hit. Don't think. Hold on, why is that rolling initiative? Oh, click the wrong thing, sorry. Is a 13 to hit. I don't think that'll hit. And the second one onto Crumb is a 22 to hit for 5
Yes.
slashing damage as he just catches you under the armpit of where you've got like a loose bit of chainmail and slashes away at you. I'm going to double check Shu's AC, which is. So that's both of their turn. The other two are sleeping. So next up is Lucius.
Lucius like slowly walks around the corner, and then I'm gonna throw the petrol bomb like right on these three guys. I think.
So Shabazz, Shu, and Crom. Where are you hitting it? Because it's a 4x4 square.
So I'm gonna hunter's mark this goblin
Yeah.
first. This is the one that's fighting.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get basically like the middle of it's gonna be there, so I'm gonna get those
Okay.
three.
So there's 3. Okay, so you Shabazz, Crom, and Shu, you just hear like a. As they all take. I suppose they would get a deck save, wouldn't they, for half damage? Would they?
The two that are asleep won't.
Yeah.
Nope, they won't. No, fuck it. I got my house.
Okay, I roll 1d6.
Yeah.
And then do I do hunter's mark damage to the one hunter's mark?
Yeah.
1 fire damage.
That sucks.
I don't know. Roll. I might get them next turn though as well.
Mhm.
Then hunter's mark is going to be 5. So that one takes 6 damage, and then the other 2
Yeah.
take 1.
Okay, so
Just enough to wake them up.
I know,
Yeah.
but if they took more damage than that, it would have been epic.
I know.
they all 2 of those wake up, screaming, on fire, confused to fuck, just like ah! And then that brings us. Is that your turn, mate? Is your bonus action to move from its mark action to throw that movement
So when will they take the next d6?
when it comes back around to their turn?
Sweet.
Crom, you're up.
Was the arrow still sticking out of that one in front of me that you just shot?
No, hunter's marked him, and then.
Oh, you didn't
fired
shoot him. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I petrol bombed them all.
Yep. I'm just gonna smash him with my mace then.
Go for it. Uh,
11 to hit.
He just, with the fire that's just burnt up all his side, he just jumps out the way of you, and just gets out of your reach as you kind of boom, like bounce the floor with your mace, and you're like, ah.
Okay. I'm not gonna do anything else for bonus action then. Oh,
Okay, mate.
And Shu's turn.
Oh shit, where's Shu? I'll move Shu on Crom's turn because I forgot to put him on the fucking turn order.
Okay.
Shu's gonna go ahead and attack this mother dick. With a glaive. Normal attack. 13, which would miss, and I'll go ahead and use his second key point to do 2 unarmed strikes. 1, 2. 18 hits, 1 misses. So for 4 so Shu kind of like slashes down with the glaive, misses, spins, does it like a back kick into its chest, boom, spins around for a punch and realizes he kicked him a little bit too far away and just gets out of reach of Shu's punch. Shu just kind of rebalances himself, ready in like a defensive pose, while the goblin's like like coughing up his own teeth and blood from the kick to the chest. Awesome. At this point, you guys hear a screechy, horrible, sort of nails on a chalkboard tone of a goblin voice that screams down to you. Humans, stop! I drop him. I slit his throat and rape him if you step one close more further. And he's got Sildar, the guy you remember traveling with, beaten to within an inch of his life. You can see on his chest, he's got a hand that's been loosely bandaged with like wet rags with maggots and stuff in against his chest. and the other hand's like tied against his back in a really uncomfortable position. His eyes are all like bloodshot and bruised. His jaws like just doesn't look like it's sitted properly. He looks like he's literally on like the last bit of his life, and this screeching goblin's hanging him over an edge, and he's threatening to push him over the edge to finish him off if you continue fighting. I have proposition. By you. If you listen. How do you guys react? Do you carry on fighting, or do you want to stop and listen to this dude?
I'm getting my bow and arrow ready.
Okay, Shabazz.
She's just gonna cock her head and like, what? Oh, I can't really understand you.
Crom, you see this sort of as you're kind of fighting one off, like bashing away with your shield, keeping him at distance. You see this Sildar's being hung over the edge, and this goblin's asking you to stop, else he'll push him off.
Wait for his proposition while fending off the one that's trying to hit me. So
The rest of you just waiting out?
Yeah.
Okay. So he looks around, realizes that you're just defending him now, and he goes, "Stop!" And the other goblins kind of like back off, and they're ready, and they're willing to just get back in action like that.
Are
but
they still on fire though?
They are still on fire. So roll 1d6.
Come on, please be good. That'd be so funny.
drop dead.
Aw.
Two. Okay, so they are still burning. They sort of like they take this moment to sort of pat the flames out. As he takes that. Right, this guy. The one of them's like patting flames out, and then just kind of like, as he pats his chest, he pulls it away, like the flesh sticks to his hand, and he looks at it and pats it again, then more flesh comes off, and he just kind of like drops to the floor dead in front of Crom. So this guy's dead. Because that dropped him below HP.
And I like put my hands up like that. Wasn't me.
And him all, where'd he come from? Hey boys, hey boys. And he looks at the rest of you. You keep this piece of shit. Bring me Clog's head. That motherfucker. I by boss now, me Yemek. Me your old Cragmore hideout. Me. You bring me his head. Me show these stupid goblins I boss. What you think, humans? And like, as he's speaking, he's got a lot of this drool coming off his lips, and he's just like super gross. You can see he's filed his teeth away, and he's got hands and feet from what are definitely human children, like as like necklaces around his neck. He's just gross, revolting.
I'm gonna shoot him as soon as I can.
Okay, you're gonna be at disadvantage. He's literally using Sildar as a human shield.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and he's gonna get a
Brave.
natural 20, by the way.
let me check his AC.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Sharpshooter, hunter's mark, the whole. nine yards.
Okay,
And
Um,
natural 20, because I had a dream.
a natural 20. Yeah, instant crit. Okay, roll damage.
Okay, so let's do this. So it's sharpshooter longbow, so it's gonna be that plus roll 1d8 for the bow. Roll 1d.
Don't forget the extra damage from the natural 20.
So that's 7. So that's 26 damage, and then I'll get 2 hunter's marks because that crits too.
It does.
That's 26. 35 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Wow.
So, like, I just see, like, the tip of the goblin's skull,
Mhm.
like, just sticking out over Sildar's shoulder.
Yeah, it's proper like using him as a shield and everything.
I take the shot, and the arrow goes in, like, at the top of his forehead, but, like, ends up taking the top of his scalp off, as it, like, flops off backwards. Then you just get this, like, splash of brains up the back of the cavern wall.
And can I do something
Yeah.
just like before he did all that? Like she just kind of taps him on the shoulder and holds up one finger, shaking it. This is it.
The one chance.
The one.
This is the one.
So you go to fire and you get this sort of deja vu almost,
Mhm.
as you realize you need to aim off slightly. And as you aim off, you know you're aiming at Sildar, and as you release this arrow, Sildar just kind of like coughs up a bit of blood, and this arrow just streaks into its head, splats its brains across the ceiling like you described, and Yemek, this horrible, grotesque goblin, just drops, and Sildar rocks forward and slides over the edge. But he slides at such a weird, awkward angle that he just kind of like grazes down the rocks and hits the bottom, and he's like easy for you to get to, as Yemek is fucking kaput.
And
I
I'm
turn
gonna
to the
give-
other goblins as he slides down, and I just go, "Aye, big boss now."
I'm just gonna give the guy a healing potion.
Okay,
when he
sure.
falls.
He necks that straight away. Do you want to roll how much he gets for me?
How much is it again? I never remember.
2d4 plus 2, I think, standard.
Three.
30 public damage, baby.
And I
That
think it
probably
would
killed him by
be.
way too much.
No, it's 2d4 plus 2. You just rolled 1.
How
Oh,
much health did that goblin have, Lou?
12.
Sweet.
3
Oh.
times.
Overkill.
there you go.
Awesome. So Sildar's like just grabs it from you with his one remaining hand and just starts to neck it. Oh, thank you, dear. Kill them. Flux. Looks to you guys to kill the remaining goblins.
I'm gonna kick one of the weapons from the one that died over to Sildar.
He sort of gets up, left-handed, just takes it, spins it like a very well-trained fighter, and just and like 2 attacks. And let's go ahead and roll for Sildar. Just for fun.
Said you could handle yourself. Prove it.
I don't get to roll very often. So 2 attacks. He's a strength-based fighter. He's a high level in you guys. I'm gonna put him at plus. If he was a level 5, he'd have a 3 to. He's
Yeah, it'd be a +7.
plus 7. A 10 to hit, misses, rolls again, misses. He's just like, oh, I'm fucking so tired. Action surge. Crits. Just slices like both their heads off in one hit. We'll call it a day there. The goblins are dead. How do you guys want to proceed from here? Sildar is weak, able to talk, able to sort of help out with that healing potion. All the goblins are melting and burning to a crisp on the floor, as none of them have been able to move out of the remnants of the fire. And as far as you're aware, apart from the one that got away, we've pretty much cleared this cavern.
Shabazz is gonna look to Lucy and say, "It's just like in my dream. I told you I had a dream of the future. I saw this."
I'm going to point to the large wound in my shoulder from the javelin and say, if you had a dream about it, you could have told me not to get hit with a javelin.
It was very weird. It was very blurry. I didn't see like everything, but like it's hard to explain. But I saw this.
Okay. Bit more descriptive next time for us. Might be helpful. Specific numbers and locations, yeah?
And yes, and
I'll do my
incoming
best.
threats to immediate dangers to our health, like flying objects.
But we're all fine. Oh, my first adventure.
Your throat was hanging out like 10 minutes ago. It
Right.
was not fine.
A perfect adventure. I see this as an absolute win. She's just gonna group hug.
Reluctantly. Is there anything up on this balcony where we killed this other like ugly motherfucker?
No, this looks like just like a rest area for where the sentries are. Everything seemed to be taken to Clark because he was the big boss. While you're sort of on a look around and a mooch around to get answers to that question, Sildar, did you find Gundren as well?
We seen his tracks. He went the opposite way to you.
He did.
Yeah,
Aye.
we think so.
We're being
There's
paid
a-
to find you.
There was a pack of 6 war riders hunted him down. If they found him, they'd have taken him to, from what these say, Cragmore Castle. He's got the map. Gundren, I
What?
mean.
What's the map for? Is it important, or I mean,
Yes, it's the entrance to the Wave Echo Cave. The Fandelvin Pact is based on the Wave Echo Cave. It's been lost for centuries. If we get in there, the whole of Fandelvin can prosper again. Everyone can prosper. Even as far as Waterdeep, they can prosper. There'll be so
ain't
many
prospered enough.
there. So many riches beyond your imagination, dear dwarf. You should know this. He kind of looks at your holy symbol of Moradin. You should know this in your blood.
Is there a forge there?
Aye, of course there's forges there, son. Many a forge, the greatest of forge. Volcanic forges will be there.
What about books?
Of course there'll be books, dear. Some of the greatest lore ever written was written by the dwarves and gnomes of the Fandel Pact. And the human mages that run it. Some of the wisest mages in the region. There's been many books, many a scroll, dear. We need to get him. We need to find Gundren and his map. Get his clan there. Get the Wave Echo Cave open for trade again. It's what our generation's for. Kind of rights himself and stands up.
Lucius is sat on a goblin body smoking his pipe. Well, that's all good and well, Sildar. We're being paid to take you back to town.
But what about the prosperity? All the prospering. We gotta get that map.
You really like gold. I mean, that says that there's a lot of gold involved.
Well, the sounds of it, Sildar likes prospering too.
Hey, hold on.
We'll prosper when we get back to town.
You've already been to town.
Yeah.
Did you see Irano there? You know, robed fellow, wizard. Stand out like a sore thumb if you see him.
I don't think we did.
He didn't send you to find me.
No, it was the man from the supply shop. Where we delivered the caravan.
Did you hear of Arno?
Barthen never mentioned him, neither did the man at the tavern.
He cannot be there. If Barthen sent you, Arno would have sent you first. He was there. He would have sent you a lot earlier as well, and kind of looks at his hand. But
We did come earlier, to be fair, but then I died, pretty much.
I do thank you all for helping me. Did you leave any of these scum alive?
Can you describe what leaving them alive would be? Like, if they ran away?
Still one ran away? How many?
Just the one.
How long ago? Could we catch him?
Mm,
Could you find them?
Maybe.
maybe if I dreamed again.
Easiest way to find out where the Cragmore Cave is catch one of these fuckers and torture it. If you're up for it, if you're up for a hunt. You lad, you look like you're up for a hunt. Looks at Lucius.
Problem is,
This guy looks like he's about 20 years older than you.
well, Sildar, you don't really look in a position to pay for a good hunter.
No. No, I'm not. I have gold. Not on me. I have gold in the banks of Waterdeep. And Neverwinter. The Lord's Alliance will pay richly for the right man.
I don't want gold.
What do you want?
I want each one of us here to have a share in that Echo Cave place.
Share, eh?
You know, if it's all this prospering, we're gonna be doing so much, risking our necks to help you get it secured. Maybe it'd help if we were invested in it.
I'll give you each 5% for a year's takings. If you find him, find me a goblin from this cave, and he gives you evidence of Cragmore Castle. And if that evidence pays out, I'll be true to my word and give you each 5% for a year's takings from Wave Echo Cave. You have my word from the Lord's Alliance.
What hands he had cut off again?
His left hand has been chopped off.
Okay, Lucius goes, look, because Lucius is left-handed, so he goes to shake his left hand and then goes, and then shakes him with the right.
Shakes your hand. That's right, that shit down. So,
Well, guys, come on. We need to get on the trail while it's fresh.
that's a fucking badass deal.
Mhm.
5% of 1 year's takings of trade.
We gonna be rich.
1 year's takings of trade. If you catch, if you catch a goblin or gain enough evidence for the location.
Cragmore Castle.
And at some point, I want to take a look at what that scroll's for.
Yeah. Sec Castle, which leads to the finding of Gundren, which is obviously the ticket to opening the Waybacker Cave.
So we get the cut if we find the place.
So
So if actually
pretty much, you're going to
Roach-
get 5% each of a year's takings of trade if you find Gundren alive with his map. Pretty much. You know. This could be anything between 500 gold each and 50,000 gold each.
I feel that prosperings up to the
If
height.
that, if it goes, yeah.
Well, guys, looks like we've got ourselves a deal.
That's a good deal.
Right, well, we can't afford to fuck this up. Let's get after that goblin.
That's your job. You need to find this because
Okay.
this dreamy over here is not gonna know exactly where it's gonna be. And
So
Hey.
it's been about 10 minutes since the goblin ran away, which isn't the biggest lead in the world. Are you guys going to have a rest first, a short rest, or a long rest, or are you just going to get out and hunt?
So it's only one goblin, right? So I'd probably
Mhm.
say push on.
but Sildar did mention that there was a pack of wargs. They may still be out there.
Well, we just have to keep our wits about us. How is everyone holding up?
Eh,
Well, pretty good right now. Let's go. Come on. The fortune.
The
For
prosperity.
forging.
For fortune. For forging. Sildar, are you alright to make your way back to town?
If you're ready to hunt, I can make my way back. Not a problem. If you have any mounts outside, I could borrow.
No.
We didn't get
Right.
paid before we found you.
Do you have any way to message the town?
No, you come with us if you want. Are you up for running?
I think I am. Ready to hunt me some fucking goblin.
Alright, everybody follow me. Come on.
Is this like a slope that's here?
Yeah, it's like a 10-foot drop, followed by a 5-foot plateau by another sort of 5 or 10-foot drop. You could easily sort of shimmy yourself down because you're not in a rush and you're stealthy or anything. It's easy enough for you guys to just make your way out of here. So, Lucius, describe to me how you'd go about, or how Lucius would go about picking up this track, how he would work it, etc., etc., and I'll let you make the decisions of how the ranger would work.
So I know he slid down this place here. I know he slid down here.
Yeah.
So I'd start from there, see if I could see those slide marks, and then work out from there which boot prints would be his boot prints.
Okay. So what I'll probably say is make a survival check on that location, so to try and determine his sort of slide track. 14. You spend a good 10 minutes brushing a couple of rocks here and there just to get him out of the way where they've kind of fallen after his boot print imprinted from like the disturbance and stuff. And you follow the tracks around the kennels, and you can see there's like a dog shit that's been trodden in. There's a bit of muck and mess. There has been goblins sort of in and out of here, and there's loads of like ingrained mud and dog shit and stuff from the wolves. I keep saying dog shit, wolf shit. But you kind of gather the freshest set of prints are one booted foot and one barefoot with like these clawed toes, one toe being in a very unnatural position for any creature, never mind a goblin. It just looks like a birth deformity because they're all inbred as fuck. And it's got like webbing in between the right hand toes, which would think would make him a good swimmer, but goblins don't like water. It's just gross. And the boot itself is very worn down on both the heel and the ball of the foot. And the way its sort of imprints into the ground, you can take quite a lot of detail that it was obviously running quite fast, but seems to favour putting its weight on its non-booted foot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You find...
Looks like we've got a club foot here, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. You spend 10 minutes really sort of getting fresh and sure of those tracks before, I guess, you venture outside and try and pick that track up.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me a second survival track to try and pick that track up now. You've got a good impression of what you're looking for.
Is this forest?
Not really, no.
I've got a. Can I give him guidance knowing that he's looking for him?
Yeah.
Borrow that'll help you find this little bastard. Go.
Oh, I might need that.
Okay,
1d4.
You-
It's 11.
11. You don't not pick up the trail. You pick up the trail, but it takes you about an hour to work out its direction. A lot of that is due to the goblins sort of what's the word?
Coming and going, sort of.
Yeah, it's the same goblin, but he kind of goes back on himself a little, been which way to run away from you guys. He wasn't sure whether you was tailing him or not. And after about an hour, you start to progress away from this location, and you start to progress to the. Let me make sure get my map up so I can make sure I'm heading in the right direction. You're starting to progress to the sort of west by northwest, so not directly northwest. You're more west than northwest. You kind of parallel to the Tribord Trail. How long are you willing to follow this before you feel you guys are going to need to...
Probably till dark.
Okay, till dark. So you've probably got a good 8 hours of sort of booting it, really, until you're going to need to stop and... So, Lucius picks up the trail. Solid on this. The goblin itself now, by the time you've picked up the trail and sort of sorted himself out, he's about 2 hours lead on you. And you follow this trail. Just quickly, in the meantime, while Lucius was... you guys could have taken a short rest if you wished. Lucius was busy, the rest of you were just waiting out for him to deal with shit. So if you wanted to roll a hit dice, you could.
Okay.
Yes.
Roll one for Shu, because he would have had no input there. I think that's what he would have done. Where's his hit dice? Is it just a D8 for Jovi? 6. Okay, so he's back to full health anyway.
It's Kanye.
Yeah, do you?
Okay.
I'll do an arcane recovery just to get that one spell back.
Is there a section where you can tick off how many hit points you spent? Dice.
Yeah. It's in where the hit dice is. There's like a total hit dice, and then the big numbers, how many you've got left.
Okay, yeah. What is it? Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I'm being a monk. You should have two though, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Probably take that short rest to see what the scroll is.
Yeah, so just having a quick look at that scroll, back up with you in a sec, Lucius. Having a quick look at that scroll. Reading through it, it looks to be a scroll of floating disc.
Nice.
Level. So same sort of thing. I think it's a conjuration spell, so it'll be like 250 golds worth of materials and 8 hours to learn it.
Yeah.
That's how it works for a wizard.
Yep.
So following this trail for 8 hours, you guys following Lucius's very paceful but methodical and very detailed track. You are led through a collection of like small forests and copses. After about 2 hours, you're led to a small watering hole. You guys can fill up flasks and stuff like that and take a drink. Nothing seems to be around you. From here on out, the goblin's pace seems to slow down. So you guys can keep your pace and start to gain ground on him if you wish. And it continues in this sort of northwest by sort of west by northwest sort of direction.
How far behind him do I think we are now?
At this point, you're probably about 2 hours, but you can tell he's slowed down. So pushing on for another couple of hours, you'll probably gain in sort of 2 hours, if that makes sense.
Sweet.
So after 4 hours, you're like an hour and a half behind. You can tell by sort of the bends in the grass where his footprints have gone in. And stuff, where you come up on a smouldering fire, and next to this smouldering fire, sort of perched up a tree, is this gasping, barely breathing body of a goblin, with one boot and one non-boot on his feet.
I want to try and sneak up on him.
Okay, you can just see he hasn't seen you. He's just kind of like breathing against this tree, but his breathing's very laboured. His eyes are kind of blanking in and out. Looks like he's been clubbed, potentially on the back of the head. As you're approaching further, as you're getting closer, you notice lots of warg paw prints, like they've been running in circles, and like there's like just mess and turned up earth underneath where the claws have been digging in the ground and stuff. Roll stealth. The rest of you just waiting out in the sidelines. Baz and Crumb.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lucius, you kind of come around and behind him. Are you getting right up on top of him, I guess?
Yeah, I want to like get behind him and like pull my short sword out and like hold it around his throat.
Yeah, so you
Well,
come
the hand
from
on his
around the tree, hand on his mouth, blade against his neck. Yeah, he didn't see you coming until you got to that point. Carry on.
And then, muffling his voice, I'm going to drag him off back to the Westerners.
And you can see he's like in pain. He's one leg with no boot on. He's just dangling like it's been dislocated from the hip. It's just kind of like bouncing around like it's just not even attached anymore. It's kind of held together by muscle alone. You drag him into the woods to the rest of the party. Take your hand from his mouth.
Look, everyone, we've got a new friend.
Hi, I'm Shabazz.
Anyone talk goblin?
No.
Just hold on.
Sildar.
I could try.
He's a bear. Blah, 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 he's a bear. Blah, 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 blah.
He just looks at you wide-eyed, all of you.
The goblin dies in confusion.
You taught the human tongue. I say to the goblin, do you talk the human tongue?
He just looks at you blank.
I'll say to him in Orc, what about this one? Do you speak Orc?
is Gogordis Durn Orc. He speaks in this like guttural sort of, and as he's speaking, you can see all his gums are all blooded. Back of his head's kind of like caved in a little bit. Like you can see bits of brain and skull. And like this guy's gonna die tonight, regardless of what anyone does. He's fucking dead. And he's like got blood in his mouth, like but like clogs of it, like it's come up from like his lungs and shit. Grun's decent orc. He says in orc, speak little orc tongue. It's filth.
I'm gonna say, who did this to you? Because we didn't hurt him, right?
Goroshkanain di Brandon. Translates to, it was my fucking brotherkin.
I'm gonna say, want us to take some vengeance for you.
Fuck you, human. Spits in your face.
So, how is it going? What's
I
he
just
saying?
really slowly wipe. As I'm wiping the spit off my face, I use my ability. Just stare into his soul.
Okay. I'll reread it again.
While that's happening, I'll hand the goblin like some water, because he obviously needs a drink.
Okay. He looks into your eyes, and he kind of like then can't make eye contact. Sees the water and kind of like lets you pour it in his mouth.
Okay.
And he translates to you, how does the dwarf's breath smell better than yours, human?
I tell him, because I only eat goblins.
He kind of starts to looks at your face and stuff, and he's like, reaches out for Crumb. Or water.
I should give him more water.
I just hand him the whole flask, then the whole.
He drinks. Grog. He says, you have any grog?
I do not know.
No,
Shake my
What?
head, no.
we don't drink that stuff. Are you gonna tell us where
Looks-
where
He
your
looks
grog-
around at Shabazz.
Hi.
Gorishnis Daira. He says, is this one the Fire Queen?
She's just
Yes.
gonna push her glasses up the bridge of her nose, smiling.
Yes, she's the one that incinerated your brethren.
Gorishnis Daira Clog. He says, is it the Fire Queen that killed Clark?
No, I killed Clark. I shot him in the head.
Gorishnai Gushnui Istudamana. He translates to, why did you hunt me so far?
Because we seek. What's the name of the castle again?
Cragmore Castle.
We seek Cragmore Castle. We believe that the goblins there are holding another hostage.
As you say that, roll me an insight check. Lucius.
6.
Also one from Crum.
Oh, for me? Okay.
Yeah. Nine. You don't notice anything. He looks to Crum. Looks him up and down. looks at the Fire Queen. And he asks the Fire Queen, "Can you heal me? I'll show you the way." He believes she's magic, so.
And then, knowing they can't speak our language, I'm going to say, he says if we heal him, he'll lead us to where they are. But I'm not sure if we should trust him.
I take the role of the Fire King and healing word him with fire.
Okay. So you take your holy symbol, look at him, mutter a prayer to Moradin to heal this goblin creature. Go ahead and roll healing word. 6 healing. So he's gone from 1 to full health. As his head starts to and you can hear the singeing, the searing heat, and he screams a little bit as if Moradin himself has just let this be a painful experience, but has allowed the healing magic to come through. And he's like, and he kind of bites the tip of his tongue off, with the pain. And you pin him down.
I want to pad him down for weapons.
Okay, you pat him down. Roll investigation check. Not high DC. And this healing takes process, and you can see and smell the smoke that rises from the back of his head, where it's been clubbed. He has a dagger on him, a quiver of arrows, an empty water skin that he had tied to himself, and a belt of fingers, like a string belt with fingers that have been interlaced into the string.
Take his daggers, his arrows, leave his fingers, leave his water skin.
Okay.
And Shabazz is just gonna, feeling a little bit helpless, is just gonna presentation him to be clean
To be clean.
and to smell like flowers.
I'm gonna say to the goblin, have you got a name?
Korini. He says his name is Preeny.
Craney.
Creeny.
Creeny.
Okay, Creedy.
And he kind of tries to translate. And he kind of points to his nose, picks his nose, and pulls out a really sloppy bogey. And he goes, Creeny.
That's a tasty one.
As you say that, he kind of just puts it up. So his name is Snot.
I'm gonna say, well, Greenie, if you lead us to where this, if you lead us to this camp correctly, no funny business, we'll let you go. You can wander far away, never bother any of us again. If you think about trying to fuck us, then you die, and I will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Do you understand, Greenie?
The whole time you've been saying that, he's just been staring straight at Shabazz. He says, I'm happy to lead. I won't be against you. Maybe one more time I can see the fire. And he looks really hopeful at Shabazz.
Or we need a translator. She's just kind of, hi.
Just being awkwardly stared at by a goblin who's picking his nose and eating it, but sloppily.
Can I incite him to see if he actually wants to agree with that?
Yeah, you can roll inside.
See if I think he's being truthful. What are you?
He looks like he's quite happy to lead the way. It's hard to tell whether he'll be trustworthy the whole time. Currently now, you feel like he's gonna lead you in the right direction at least, but he doesn't look like he wants to move one foot in front of the other until he sees the Fire Queen again in action, with flames and shit.
Look at Shabazz and say, do a little fire thingy at his feet, but don't hit him.
So she's just going to, I guess, purposely miss a firebolt.
Okay. Have you guys? Are you gonna have him like tied up, like Gollum, Lord of the Rings style, or are you letting him free roam?
Free roam for now, but if we rest, maybe. Time
No,
up for
I've actually
resting.
got something good for this situation. I'm going to put my manacles on him.
Okay, sweet. Front or back?
Behind him.
Okay, so is your like going ahead and putting like the manacles on him behind his back? Kind of like he's quite tense and he's trying to resist it because he just doesn't like the feel and how cold they are. But he's not being a dick about it. He's just like he doesn't rather not have them as anyone would be. And he sees the fire hit him between his feet. He's like, he gets like really excited and almost like giddy. Again.
Okay, but you have to, in order to receive the Fire Queen's blessing again, you must lead us to the encampment. Then you'll see lots of fire.
Agigi.
You have to stay quiet. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Good. Come on, lead us there.
Agigi.
I think that means okay.
Again.
Oh, again. Come on, lead us there. I'm gonna push.
Agigi. And it kind of like resists you a little bit.
Do it again, Shabazz, if you please.
Okay.
And she's just gonna look around, and can she find like a pine cone?
Oh, easy enough, yeah.
Or she's gonna get a pine cone, and then walk it over, and like hold it to him and point to the top of his head. Huh?
Yeah. Agigi.
Put it on your head. I'm gonna hold him still and put it on his head.
Agigi.
And then
He's
she's
just-
going.
It's like Toothy smile on his face. He's trying to look up at the pine cone and look at Shabazz at the same time. His eyes seeing.
Then she's gonna stand back, and then she's gonna be a little bit more flourish this time about it. Give it a little bit more charge, making her eye,
Okay.
like the glasses, flame up again, and her body just turning red before it charges up this energy and fire at the pine cone.
Okay, with his excitement, he's looking like one eye's looking up at the pine cone, one eye's looking at you. Snot's rolling down his nose into his mouth. He's got like an overbite, like his bottom jaws in front of his top teeth.
Mhm.
And he's getting almost like sexual about it. It's a bit weird. Go ahead and fire an attack to hit the pine cone.
Okay. Firebolt. 16. What's the fire? Pine cone's AC.
Oh, it's definitely hitting. I like anything less than a 10 would have hit Greeny, but it's fine. You just kind of like poof, ping it off. It singes his ears, and like any hair he had on his head is now gone. He's like, and just starts marching off, like giggling to himself. Just, you know.
You'll be like, Sid, be quiet.
That's it. Snots on the floor. And just
I want to follow him, but stealthily.
I think I'm gonna
That's
leave
stealth.
that out of my book.
No, that's great writing. Put it in your book. Bestseller.
Follow him.
Okay, so he walks for like 20 meters, 20 feet, and kind of stops and looks back because he hasn't heard your footfall, Lucius. He kind of sees you, shakes his head, and then carries on walking. And like at this point, you're like just sloped off, like out his way, and he can't hear who the fuck you are. So you can move around freely with him, like unaware of where you are at this point. Unless you're standing in front of his face, obviously.
Sweet, I'm just following him and making sure that I can see like some wolf prints and stuff around him. Because I'm guessing they would head back.
Most likely. Go ahead and roll survival. Low DC, that's fine. You just keep an eye out. Every now and then you see them. They don't go in like a straight line in the direction he's going, but every now and then you kind of cross tracks with them where they're obviously on some kind of patrol route, or they're just hunting or fucking around or whatever. But you don't seem to bump into any. I think at this point, guys, should we take a 10-minute break?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Your way off the Tribor Trail towards Cragmore Castle, led by Greenie, the weird little fire fetish goblin.
Who is chained up?
Who is chained up yet?
Mm-hmm.
He's loving life.
Maybe we should make him officially our pet.
Shabazz has some reserves.
We need to find carrying those supplies back to the town from the cave, so
True.
actually no. Ah, screw it. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Yeah,
Okay, mate.
maybe.
See you in 10, and we'll be right back.
I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find I can't find I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find you. I can't find you.
through. It's thick, condensed, sort of tree slapping you in the face woodland. This goes on like undulating terrain. It's kind of up and down and up and down. It's difficult going to follow him. He doesn't seem to be following any set path that would normally be sort of traveled among. But every now and then you come across like fire breaks in the forest, almost like natural ones, where you do see like wolf paw prints and the occasional goblin paw prints. Lucius, with you tracking and sort of stealthing ahead and parallel to this, you do occasionally find like waste and stuff from the creatures that look like days old, as if this is almost like a patrol route. or just well-traveled band. So you feel like you're going in the right direction. On about your 7th hour, so not long before you rest for the you happen upon like an opening in the forest where the land becomes a bit more marshy, and it's squelchy underfoot. You know yourselves, it hasn't rained for a few days, almost a week now, properly. You've had showers, but proper downpour's been a long time. So for the fact that this land's like this, Lucius, you work out it's probably like a bit of a plateau. There's not really much drainage for the sort of natural water to disperse into anything, and the vegetation in this area gets quite sparse. So there's no like real tree roots or anything to absorb this water. It's just like dead grass. Every now and then you fall into like knee-high water. You just have to kind of wade through it. The little goblin seems to be picking a decent enough path, but even he occasionally kind of like slips into like a stream of water, puddle of water, say, and seems to panic himself to get out of it. And being manacled behind his back, he kind of panics, and a couple of times he sort of stops and looks at you and shows you the manacles and pleads at you with his eyes. Not you, Lucius, the rest of the party. If anyone wants to take his manacles off while he struggles through this, now's your time to do so.
I'll just kind of assist him instead of taking them off.
Okay, so you just kind of like pull him out of ditches every now and then.
Yeah.
So we'll put you a little bit closer to
I'll
him.
be a bit closer in that case.
Yeah, so you're like on top of him.
When he falls flat on his face, you swear you can hear like a giggle in the wind.
Yeah. Which happened. So that giggle. Proper like hysterical giggle. But you push on. The marshland seems to open up for quite a bit. To your left, right, and behind you, there is forest, probably within 300 or 400 meters of you. And occasionally the forest seems to creep a little bit closer. You travel for like another half an hour for this. Mosquitoes buzzing around you. You're starting to sweat with like the humidity and the moisture in the air. It's not the warmest of evenings, but your pace of travel and the terrain you're having to stumble through, it's just difficult to get through, and it's just uncomfortable going. Sildar is okay with the travel. Shu just seems to be munching on berries, and he's keeping quiet, he's content. Occasionally he falls in water and just looks at you with a really like pissed off look on his face, as if to say, "What we're fucking doing?" But trogs on nonetheless. Eventually, Greenie stops sudden and looks around at you all, and then starts to scurry across the ground, looking like to get away from you, Crom. What do you do?
I grab the chains at the back. I grab the like shackles if I can.
Okay, you grab the chains. He turns around and kicks you right in the knee. Tries to fight against you. So roll a check.
What? Sorry, you cut out a bit.
Roll a strength check, and I'll roll one against you. Acrobatics against you, because he's going to try and kick and scramble away. So a dex check. I'm going to roll. So your 8 beats my 6. He kicks you, but you just kind of twist the manacle, and he kind of looks back at you, and he's been very quiet up until this point, and he just goes, "Who's going in the sea?" and just looks at you, pleading. Lucius, with you being about 15-20 feet away, you just catch, "They're here, you idiots," in Orcish.
I look around.
Crom is like restraining this goblin on the. Everyone else is unaware of what the fuck's going on.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for some.
Make a perception check for me.
Is it? We're in woods or not?
No, it's like open marshland. There is trees and puddles and shit, but woodland. 23. Over a rise, about 50-60 meters away from you, and charging towards you, you see a pack of walk riders.
I want to shoot one.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack. The rest of you would be unaware from distance. And in fact, Crom, you're busy dealing with the goblin. Shabazz, roll me a perception check quickly.
Okay.
Have I got advantage on this?
You wouldn't have advantage because they've been hunting you.
I'm stealth.
Oh, you are stealthed, yeah. So yeah, you do have advantage. Should
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the lead one.
Okay, so that's the second spell slot from this point.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna burn my last spell
That's
slot.
you don't see this coming, and you don't even see because he hasn't been able to alert you. He's just turned and started firing.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to him. I'll probably shoot at the warg if I've got a choice.
Okay.
Advantage. Let's go. Oh yeah,
Nice.
baby!
Nice. Roll. So this is one of the wargs. So there's
Yeah, the lead
you
warg.
can see there is what looks to be 6 figures approaching you. 4 of them are wargs with riders, and 2 are empty. Just straight up wolves. So you aim at the closest warg rider to you. As they're approaching you, spaced out and tactical, and they're coming at you in like a wave, almost like cavalry would. And you can see they have bows at the ready, so they're going to come past with range attacks. Because you rolled a shit up perception and roll damage on that first attack, mate. Aiming at the warg.
So at the warg, it's gonna be 18 piercing damage
Oh yeah,
and plus 2 Hunter's Marks.
yeah. So you just split
24
this
piercing.
as it's running at you. You just split this warg down the middle, and it was coming at pace. So for this, I'm going to let you roll 1d6, and that's going to be the damage to the goblin as it fucking gets flung from this wall.
4 damage to the goblin.
Okay, nice. Bludgeoning
And
damage.
as
Thrown as well.
as the arrows release, I go, Warg Riders!
Okay, so one warg is dead. It's just kind of like this arrow just disappears down its gullet. It just comes out the other end, and you just see it slide. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you on a battle map, guys, and then we'll all roll initiative. Okay, so Mike, just over the left here, that's the took out as it's crested over the hill. Its warg's gone. I've deleted it off the map, and that guy's had his damage taken off. Now prone. The rest of them are approaching you. Just as you look at the terrain, any of the blue puddles that you can see, that's going to be half movement for you guys because you're not mounted. But for the rest of for the enemy, they can just plow through that shit because they're mounted. And they are looking to keep, from what it looks like they're going to be just going at ranged attacks but moving fast for now. So click. I've got a turn order up. Let me just refresh it quickly. Remove all turns. Clear. And close that down. Click on your tokens, guys, and we'll get some battle carnage kicking off.
Yay!
Yeah, got some good initiative.
That's how you figure
He he just kind of flops down like, nah.
Standing wide-eyed as amazement.
Okay, so the goblins on mounts, they're going to move together. Their mounts are and the wolves are going to move separately. If it becomes a bit OP for them, I will separate turns together. Unless you guys want me to do them separately, your choice.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, it's either they act as mounts for the goblins, or
No, I mean like the goblins. Rather, they can either all go at the same time, or I'll give them individual initiatives. It's up to you guys.
I think individual.
Yeah,
Okay.
because otherwise they're all gonna have goes before we even get a chance.
You've got like a
Okay.
big wave of attacks.
I don't think I can edit there. Okay, so green. No, we've already got green. Green's your one in your party. You got a red. You got a blue. So I'll add a turn for him.
Is it really part of our party anymore?
You don't really know. Okay, so let me remove that. Just give me a second then, guys.
Yes, I think Shu needs.
So. Oh yeah, Shu as well. So add turn. Boom. I realised that I can like highlight over them, and in fact, what I can do, let me refresh, let me delete that. Delete that. I think what I can do is drag and drop and then add turn. That works. Enemies. Do they all come on?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so the wolves, I'll roll to the two wolves that are currently unmounted. I'll roll together, and any of the mounts that become just wolves, I'll just put them into the wolf category. But the goblins, I'll do in beer all day. So I took a 10 for one. So 2. So there's 4. How many more do I need to do? 4 goblins. All right.
That's all I got.
12 and 21. 11.
One of those guys hasn't got a main, so which one hasn't got the main?
10. In fact, if I like scroll them, they should highlight on my screen, if that makes sense. Yeah. So on my screen, like if I go over this one, if I highlight over 10, it's this one down here. Gives me a yellow box. 11 is this one here. 12 is the one with the red mark, and the one that's already damaged is on. And then the wolves, quick initiative.
The one that's on the blue is 21.
Yeah. So wolf rolled 20. In fact, we've got to roll 21 for some reason. That's supposed to be 20. And then I'll move all the walls at the same time. Because tactics and shit. We all fucking fails. Okay, so
600 feet range anyway, so.
and then shoe. Sorry it's taking so long. Initiative. There's initiative on normal character sheets. There it is. 20.
Shoot, with the 22.
10. No, just chuck 22 in there. Crom, did you just get 0?
I got a 1, but I'm a -1.
Alright, I'll put Shoe at 23 because his dex is higher than wolves and shit. So, Lucius has already gone. Brings us to Shoe. Shoe is going to take out his. Is it a longbow or a short bow he's got?
I think it was a short bow.
Sure,
It is a short bow. He's going to go ahead and one that is with his angle. The trees and the bushes, sorry guys, they're about 15 feet tall, and ranged attacks are not going to go through them because it's sort of the tree cover. They're not just like one single tree stump, but they're like collections. It's like almost like mangrove type shit. Makes sense.
Okay.
So imagine them as like big pillars that are in your way visually, straight lines, can't go through it. Also to move around. So Shu is gonna aim at this guy up here, aiming at the goblin. In fact, no, he's gonna fire at the goblin. Short bow, normal attack. What's the distance on that actually? Would that be a disadvantage?
It would
6
be for
feet.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so roll attack again. Take the lowest. 13 would not hit the goblin with an AC of 15. So Shu fires an arrow, misses with the pace and the speed that the goblin's moving at. It goes as a miss. Shu is then going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 to here, just to try and split you guys up so you're not all chunked up. I guess that's what he'd do. Brings us to the wolves, the separate wolves. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. He's going to go there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. He's going to go there. And they're rushing down towards the goblin, pretty much. They don't know where Sildar is at this point. He has just fired from there. Oh, how am I getting feedback? Who's that from? I'm coming back through somebody's mic.
I think it may be Meg.
Fucking Meg. Okay, so the wolves have done their
I was
turn.
muted.
And brings us to Goblin at 21, which is the prone one. He's gonna spend half his movement to get up. He's gonna draw his short bow, and he's gonna aim at Greenie. Because he thinks you guys led him here. Pretty sure. 13. Just bounces off the manacles. And Greenie's like, fucking hell! Like, doesn't shatter them or anything. It's just like a really, like, safe for him. And then that goblin's going to go ahead and spend 15 into here, and he's going to bonus action hide. Stealth, which is +6. 4. Is anyone below 11? Passive perception.
Nope.
No.
Okay, so you all see him rush into those bushes.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Lucius, you're up.
Well, I'm not gonna shoot the closest wolves because I think Cromran's gonna rush into them. I'm gonna try and ping this guy's mount, the one that's up in the
Okay.
world. You know what? Let's do sharpshooter. Oh,
Okay.
on the wolf.
Okay.
Pray to Orange Jesus. 17 hit.
Hits. Yeah, definitely hits. Roll damage.
Oh shit! I meant to move fucking
Fact.
onto Mark.
It's on the wolf with a sharpshooter. You're gonna kill it straight out.
Oh, so I don't need to move. On the spot.
It's got 11 HP, so you just there's no point in damage. You just clean it. It's
Yeah.
dead.
So that
Prone.
goes off his mount and in the
It's
difficult
off
terrain.
his mount. Yeah, and he's prone. So,
Sweet. And then I'm gonna use my movement. I have measured it, but I think I can get to without going in the puddle. So I'd go to here, 15 feet.
Yeah.
Another 15 feet to get beyond this bush.
okay, sweet.
Move me to there.
Nice. Okay, is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
And brings us to. I don't know why it's called wolf again. I've already moved those guys. I just deleted them completely. Shabazz.
All right. Let me see. I'm gonna move up. Oh gosh, darn it! I was measuring. Up here, and magic missile
Oh,
3 into the to the mount, I guess.
nice. Which one? Sorry, one on the right hand side.
Right hand side, yeah.
What's the distance on magic missiles? Is it 120?
120.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Yay, it
okay.
hits! You confirmed it already. Can I
Roll
roll
damage.
damage? Here we go. So, can I get more than a 3? What is this? 1d4.
You have to put it like that. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
So 3,
So 9
so 9 points of damage into the wall.
into the walker. Yeah.
Um,
And then am I able to kind of go prone over here?
go where? Sorry.
Just like behind the bush.
Yeah, you can lie prone there.
Yeah. Because they seem to be wanting to you know,
Prone.
shoot people.
Okay, cool. That's your turn.
That's my turn.
Brings us to Goblin, which is the red one, the one that Mike just took off its mount, or Lucius, sorry. He's going to spend 15 foot movement, stand up, takes out his short bow, and he's going to go ahead and aim from where he can see at Crom. 16 to hit Crom.
I would not have my shield at the moment, so that would hit.
Okay, so it's piercing damage. Yeah, why wouldn't you have your shield?
Because I grabbed the goblin.
Yeah, you'd still have your shield. Things
Would I
like that.
still have it on?
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
okay. Then it would be an 18, so I wouldn't then. Okay.
Okay, so you kind of get a He just raises. Next goblin up. That guy's gonna use the remaining 15 feet of his movement to push behind this hedgerow here and just get out of the water.
Isn't
5, 10,
He's
15.
half movement though, isn't he, in that river?
Oh, he is, yeah, sorry. So he can go to here. Brings us to 11, which is this guy, still on his walk. So he can move 40 feet. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And he's gonna, en route to Shu, he's gonna go ahead and take a shot. Shu. Well, I'm bringing Shu's character sheet up. It's not dead. Short bow. 11 doesn't hit, and this arrow just Shu just kind of like bats it off with his glaive. Because I don't know how he catches it. I'll get my head around it. Yeah. Next one is the goblin on right. He's going to go ahead and move his 40 feet to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And get to here and fire a shot at Crom. Because you can't see Lucius. You can just about see Shu, but Shu's being fired. So Crom, you get another one. Sorry, dude.
It's alright.
14 to hit. No.
No.
Boom, back off the shield again. That's their turn. Brings you to Crom.
I'm debating whether to get our little goblin friend free here and let him help.
Oh shit, I didn't do Sildar.
Oh.
Let me add him.
Yeah.
Do him after you. So we'll put you at a 1 and he can be at 0. Got
He
it.
can go
Okay.
prone on top of Shabazz.
Well, take it when you get it. I'm gonna rush at the warg here,
Hi.
and then smash. Things have one spell still left. 16.
Hit. Roll some more fucking damage. 9. Yeah, you cream into its flank. Doesn't drop it, but it's definitely hurt. As it just squeals out with guttural sort of yell. Kind of catches its balance and he's kind of standing on 3 paws and then looking at you. Kind of prowling around you, waiting for its angle of attack.
I have nothing else to do, so I'll just stand guard, ready.
Okay, mate. Then Sildar pulls out a heavy crossbow, loads it with a bolt, puts it on his stumpy arm, takes aim, and aims for Goblin and Warg north of Shu, so this guy up here. He's going to go ahead and fire. Sildar Hallwinter. Open. When you fucking open, you fuck.
Melor.
Come on, fuck. Heavy crossbow. Boom. We've got 4 misses. And he's going to go ahead and bonus action, try and crank his crossbow and load it with a second bolt. And he's going to rush to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 here. And he's just going to call out, "Come on, you stinking scum!" and try and gain their attention. That's his turn. Back to Shu. Shu's gonna, I guess, rush this guy, which gets him away from too many targets. And he's gonna go ahead, and he can't flurry of blows anymore. But you say you can do an unarmed strike for.
Well, if he had a short rest and got hit dice, he would have his key back.
Oh, on a short rest.
Yeah, key's on a short rest.
All of them.
Wait.
So he would have that back.
Okay, sweet. Better. So 12 misses. Oh my god, he's so shit. Spends key point to double unarmed strike. 1 misses. Unless Meg wants to interrupt. Misses. All 3 attacks miss.
Already used up my divine stuff.
God, that is so unlucky.
I thought you only used 1.
No, I used the 18 for higher initiative when I rolled like a 4.
Oh, what? That's a waste. Come on. Okay, cool. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Shu. Right, runs in, and he's just kind of like throwing fists and fucking glaives everywhere and missing everything. So shit. I want to kill Shu.
Doing his best.
Brings us to the separate wolves. Is there any that have been dismounted? No, they're all dead. This one's going to rush in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to here. And then they're going to go ahead and both of them take pack tactics bites against Crom.
No.
Oh.
They have advantage on this attack. So a 19
Yes.
and a 23.
Yes.
So you take 7 from the first bite as it lashes and grabs on your shield arm, pulls your shield arm away, and the second one jumps and bites you on the same arm but on the shoulder, and they're just kind of trying to tear your arm off as if they're going to run away with it and eat it. How you looking? 16 damage.
I'm down.
Okay. Brings us. That's their turn as they fight over this corpse, which is now Crumb, as they fucking. As wolves do, they're just going to go to town on you.
Oh.
Lucius, you're up.
Right. I'm going to step out. And now, one of these is heavily damaged, right?
No, these two have not been hit as far as I'm aware.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
one is. Yeah, one is the back one, furthest back from
So, this one's on low health, or that one?
top one.
Right, I'm going to shoot the one at full health. But I'm
Okay.
going to do Hunter's Mark first.
Okay.
Hunter's Mark, the one on full health, and then I'm just going to do a normal shot into him.
Okay.
15 hit.
15 does hit. Roll damage.
6 plus 1.
7. They're still up. With not much health remaining. The closest one looks a little bit healthier as this. It does let go of his arm and kind of looks for where the arrow came from. The frenzy is kind of looking back at but it has released its bite. Brings us to Goblin at 21. At this point, I'm going to move this guy with his manacles on. He's going to run 5, 10, 15. And he's going to start to try and he's going to roll an ant because he's got manacles on and no weapon. So a bit wisdom, flat wisdom, because he's got no proficiencies. DC of 15 because they're not really scared of him. I'm letting you know before I roll. Roll in a 1. So he's like, ah! And they just kind of look at him and he's like, ah! A little bit of pee trickles down his leg. But he tried.
Bless
So-
his heart.
The blue one is going to step out hiding. He's going to see Shu and fire a shot at him for a 8 to hit, but doesn't hit. If that doesn't hit, can Shu still grab it?
No.
Don't
It
know.
has to hit his AC, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, Shabazz, you're up, girl.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have anything that can kill these things before they're able to, like, kill him off. Like, he still could be revived if we have a health potion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you? Oh, I don't know if I should say. It's probably meta.
I think I'm just gonna try to sleep the wolves.
Okay.
So there we go. Sleeping the wolves. 25. Can I get the
Jesus.
other guy in that too?
What's the radius on it?
Let me see. Just
20 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20. No, you just be short to get both walls.
No, she
Yeah.
could get him, couldn't she?
yeah,
Shit.
they're 20 feet
Nice.
apart.
Within 20 feet of a point, that's a 40-foot radius. For
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You'd get
Yeah.
Thingy as well.
So
The green
Or-
guy.
5, 6. You can if you want.
If I'm
Uh,
able to
about
leave him
6,
out, I'll
7,
try.
8, 9. You can. You've got 16 points spare, so if you want to drop him, just get him.
Just do it for the memes, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop him just because I feel like
Okay.
he's just gonna be a danger to himself, and if he's prone, he won't
So-
get hit as easily.
4 of those guys are. That's
If you live one round, Crom, I can get you.
That's the goal.
right. All those guys are just fucking snapping on the job.
Leave it till last.
Jigglypuff.
Do you want to move or anything, Shabazz?
No, I'm still just kind of prone. I'm able to like roll
Okay.
into the bush a little bit more. That'd be good, but
Yeah, you can do that. You
yeah,
can do that if you want.
just rolling into the bush.
Goblin's going to attack Shu with a 15 to hit. Meets it, beats it, so that's his AC. Takes 8 slash. Dodges all this monk's moves and then just kind of just stabs him with a scimitar. No hit. So Shu takes 8 damage. Shu's not looking great right now. It's like below half his health. The next goblin is a goblin on the right. Still on. Who's that? Forget. Oh, he's still on a warg. So the warg's also gonna attack with advantage against Shu. There's a pack tactics for an 18, which hits for another 8 piercing.
Shoe down.
No, it's not down, but he's not looking great.
Oh.
Brings us to the next goblin who's on a wall, who's going to rush in at Sildar with a scimitar and a wolf bite. So scimitar attack for 13 doesn't hit, and then the wolf bite with advantage for a 22 hits for a 7. So Sildar is he's okay. You can take that shit. -7. Okay, so that's all on their turn. Crom, you know what to do, dude. That's a fail. Sildar is going to go ahead and drop his crossbow, pull out his longsword. He's going to take an attack against the wolf first for a crit for 6 damage. This seems a bit of a waste. Is that wolf taking any damage? I can't remember. Yes,
It
that
has.
wolf dies.
It took 9.
That wolf, yeah, dies instantly. And he takes his second attack against the goblin for a 4, but the goblin just kind of rolls out of the way as he.
What? The goblin's going prone though when it dies, so wouldn't he have advantage?
He would have advantage. Good shout, Mike. For a crit, and chops the goblin's head off as it's now dead. Good shout, Mike.
Well, all the other ones went prone, so I just thought.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, it's just me rushing shit. So brings us back to Shu. Yes, right.
Yeah.
Shu's gonna. He's got a key point. He's gonna try and take out the. So that's got the most chance of biting fuck out of him. So a glaive for 17 hits, an unarmed strike. I'll roll damage first, actually. 7. That warg hasn't taken any damage yet, has it?
No.
So, Shu's now going to go ahead and unarmed strike this guy. Misses. Second unarmed strike. 17 hits with damage. Kills the wolf with a punch. He kind of like punches it in its jugular. Like with the sort of angle of the wolf's body, it goes right into it. And he pulls it out. He kind of looks in his hand. He's like, "Damn, I gotta get better at this shit. I can start pulling hearts out." The wolf's dead, and the guy's prone. So this goblin now is prone. as he's fell off his warg. Shu's there. He's not looking great. Brings us to wolves who are asleep and stay asleep until anyone wakes them. Brings us to Lucius.
Right, I've measured it out. I can get to here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ram the healing potion down Crom's throat.
Okay.
So that's
Roll 2d4 plus 2.
six.
Crom, you're up.
I'm gonna be Crom. Crom, be quiet. The wolves are asleep. Get back in the fight.
You can help him to his feet as well with the rest of your move.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll help him up to his feet.
Okay.
The
Sweet.
wolves look adorable with their little paws.
They're proper like curled up in balls, one on top of the chin on. They don't just like drop like rigid. They like curled up first. They like padded at the ground. Go comfy.
The 3 circles before they lay down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Chased the tail a little bit first. Looked around and then went to sleep.
Yep.
Brings us to Mike. If that's your turn,
Yeah, I can't do it. Actually,
bonus action.
bonus action. I'm gonna move Hunter's Mark onto this guy,
Which one are you pointing at?
the red one. The red.
I missing something. Oh
red
yeah,
goblin.
got yeah, yeah. I missed him on the last
Where's
turn.
up?
That's why I didn't move.
He's getting Hunter's Mark to a bonus action.
Okay, mate. Brings us to Sleepy Goblin. Brings us to Shabazz.
Okay. Has this guy taken any damage?
Yeah, he's prone currently. So
Okay. Well, I'm
This-
going to Toll of the Dead.
he's
him.
sorry, he hasn't taken any damage, but he's
Damn.
prone.
Well, I'll still Toll of the Dead him, just with the first
Is it-
point.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom. It is.
He rolled a 13.
That hits my spell DC.
Meets it, beats it.
Meets it.
Yeah.
So nothing happens, I guess.
No damage. He kind of just shrugs his head. He doesn't really know what's going
Yeah.
out. Brings us to Red Goblin that just got Hunter's Mark. He's going to go ahead and from his angle, 10 feet to here, he's going to fire at Lucius because he just seems wrecking shit and waking people up and stuff. He doesn't like that. And anyone else he shoots will probably die.
Okay. Yeah, crit fail.
Crit fail.
Does he snap a bowstring for that shit?
Snaps a bowstring for that shit. Yeah. Chucks his bow on the floor and dives in this bush. A bonus action stealth.
I know where he is because I've got Hunter's Mark on him.
You do. Oh, I see. It's going to pay out. As far as everyone else is aware, though, so that's his turn. Next up is the one that is prone next to Shu. He's going to stand up. And he's going to attack Shu with a scimitar. And Shu gets slashed across the chest, stumbles back chest with a raging goblin stood above him with a dripping blood red scimitar. And brings us to Dead Goblin. Brings us to Crom.
Now, can mending fix bowstrings?
It can.
I'm gonna pick up the bow and then mending the bowstring.
No, it's
But
not my bow.
like all the way.
Oh, was
up
it
here.
not your bow?
No,
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 it's
no,
the
no.
goblin's bow.
Okay, ignore me. Totally
Like-
confused then.
Like thinking.
Okay, I am gonna bonus action healing word to Shu.
Okay.
Wait a minute, can it reach actually? Hold on. 60 foot. That
Easy,
should
mate.
reach-
You're in.
Yeah, we're fine. So bonus action healing word him,
Okay.
which is there. Total of 3 lovely healing.
Nice. 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 So he's back.
I'm gonna move. Can I move through these
For the
wolves,
puddles?
or are they with the wolves towards blue?
Yeah, you can step around them.
Blue,
Without
Blue is
waking them.
asleep as well.
Yeah, they're all asleep.
Blue's asleep as well, mate.
You can auto crit the wolves if you want to.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Let's start hitting wolves.
Okay. So
Not
like,
the one
Or
like
the-
So
north.
cute.
or your mate goblin, you can crush him.
No, I think he's okay. I think
15, 20. Or you can get to this guy and you can dead him. So I'll take-
yeah, I'll do the wolf, the northern wolf.
okay. Do you want to roll damage just for fun? 'Cause it's not okay.
Just for fun.
I'm gonna kill them. So
How did I just do it? Do I have to roll this first?
roll your attack and then
And then...
roll it
yeah.
again. Yeah, so it's squished. It's mud now. It doesn't even exist anymore.
One with the earth.
You hit it straight in the chest as it's in its sleeping dog position.
Oh, right through the middle.
It's like a squelching sound, like.
And again, clean the mace on the fur. Sure.
Nice.
Guts
Is that
everywhere.
that your turn, dude?
Yes, that's everything.
Nice. Brings us to Sildar. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. Sildar is going to rush this guy, standing over Shu. Take 2 longsword attacks at the goblin. For 7, which misses. And a 12, which fucking misses. But he's guarding Shu's body at least. Being engaged with this guy. So that's Sildar. Brings us to Shu, who will have to stand up and move 5 feet. Crawls from under Sildar's legs, gets up, and he's going to try and redeem himself with a glaive attack after he's come on, Shu. Tonight. Yeah, with 20. 7 damage. He just kind of gets up wearily and just two-handed with the glaive. Just lops off the goblin's head straight from its shoulders. For a minute, it looks like he has, until the head slides forward and just kind of like lands in his wolf's body.
Yeah.
Brings us to sleepy wolves. One is squished. Lucius,
Can I shoot at the red guy because I'm with my hunter's mark or not?
you're, I would say, with disadvantage, but he's going to be in half cover. I'm going to give you disadvantage because you only know where he is by the spell. Can't see him. And you've got to fire through a thicket of brambles and trees and stuff. But you can take a shot.
With disadvantage, though.
Yeah. So 17 to beat.
Just disadvantage because I ignore cover.
Oh yeah.
Right, I'll try it. These hunters marked. Just do longbow, disadvantage. Just 13 it.
No, 15 is AC. Goblin. You kind of hear like as if it was close. But what do you want to do, dude? Anything else?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go that way, and then I'm gonna go to there.
Okay, easy enough. Move yourself. Oh, yeah. Okay. Is that your turn, mate?
Yes, that's me.
Brings us to Sleepy Goblin. Brings us to Shabazz. So the only one you know of, Shabazz, are the Sleepy.
Meg.
Oh, I've been muted. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to do a. I guess I'll do a. Let me see if I'm close enough. I had to refresh because my thing was acting up.
Go.
I'll go ahead and do a fireball at the sleepy ones. Auto crit.
Okay. Sort of crit, but they're prone for ranged attack. So, see if you hit first. Okay, you kind of like hit the ground, so you don't damage them.
Aw.
Shot. Just a bad shot.
Yeah. Oh well. I'll move a little bit closer. though.
However, even though he didn't see it and he's asleep, Greenie gets a bit of an erection. You can see through his as the flame goes over his. the heat of it gives him a bit of a semi.
Ugh, gross. And I'm just gonna move up a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm
Cool.
sensing the battle's.
You were
Close.
prone, so you can't go that far.
Oh. There.
Okay, cool. Brings us to the red one. Mike, are you just gonna hunt this guy down and kill him?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Can I close him with my short swords just for
You
the
can.
kicks?
You can.
Sweet. So I like flip my bow across my back, quickly draw my short swords, and everyone else just sees me leap into the bush.
Swan dive, sword in hand.
Just gonna leap in. No, I've got 2 short swords.
Nice.
Short sword in each hand. Right. So first attack. 20.
It's full damage.
That's 8 piercing.
Okay, roll your second
Plus
attack
hunter's,
for fun.
plus hunter's mark for 10 damage.
Nice. Roll your
Short sword.
second attack for fun.
Oh no, that doesn't hit.
Ah.
The offhand dagger, like he's got his scimitar out. He's my like take it out the way and then just fucking knife him in
Yeah,
knife him in the chest.
easily done. So, the warg party are all dead or asleep. Crumbs going around, kind of like FUD.
Bopping on heads. Boop.
FUD. So all these
All you see
three.
is the wobbly bush in the background, like a car. He's obviously shanking it.
Those three are deaded now. I'll move them away from you to show that they're dead. All the guys are deaded. So Mike,
Lucy's gonna say, "Don't wake Greenie. Don't wake him. Not yet.
Not
I want to
planning
make a
to.
surprise for him. I want to just start beheading all the goblins, making like a circle of goblin skulls around him, just to freak him out."
I like it. You can do that. It takes you like a couple minutes. How long do they sleep for? Just a minute, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll double check real quick, just in case.
So you got to be quick, Mike, but you can do that. Finish off this one. Take it.
Duration, casting time.
Pretty sure
What's
it's a
the
minute.
fucking duration? It's as long as I want is what we're gonna go with.
Forever.
So this is asleep until
Sleeping
Mike's,
Beauty.
until Lucius is set up.
Yeah.
Oh no, someone has to use an action to wake them. It says.
Doesn't mean they sleep forever. She's got a full night's rest, 8 hours.
Yeah, so like all around him, I want to get like the fallen goblin.
Oh, there it is. 1 minute.
Yeah, I thought so.
I just want to arrange like all the heads around him before he wakes up.
Yeah, easily done. Do you want to roll an intimidation? Scary this shit looks to him. I'll give you advantage as well because you've got time to set it up, and you can put like the most mutilated one.
Yeah.
Can I
I want
help?
to put like the one right in front of his face is like one arrow sticking out of it. 18. Oh no, 8.
8.
Stop, look. You don't care.
He Lucius goes through all this effort, angling them at the right angle so their faces are like just tongues are almost touching his face, and mutilated ones are kind of still dripping on each other. And as he wakes up, he kind of looks around, panicked, sees the skulls on the floor, sees the warg bodies that have been mushed, looks around, and looks and makes eye contact with Shabazz, and he's like, that's okay. And relaxes as he sees his Fire Queen.
And she just completely
and looks
innocent,
at the
naive,
skulls
is
on
just
the
gonna
floor.
wave.
Big smile on his face and kind of prodding the goblin skulls away from him with his feet. And Lucius, you feel like a bit let down, but he didn't notice to care enough.
Had it been Shabaz's head, I think it would have.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna say to him, "Where's this camp?"
East. And he points north through the marshland, further ahead.
How much longer?
Gistu Atush. 2 to 3 nights.
Oh shit, that far?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it getting dark yet?
Oh, it's getting on.
So we should walk for another half an hour or so, and then
No, sorry, incorrect. He says 1 night,
one night.
like a day's travel. Just double checking the map.
I'm gonna say to everyone like, come on, let's go through their stuff. We need to push on a bit before nightfall.
I am tapped, and I'm trying to like. You can see me try to pray and heal, and nothing's happening.
Look for anything useful. I'm gonna start searching bodies.
Okay, roll some investigation checks.
Investigate.
I'll take a look at the one over here then.
I think I'll find a hand grenade under one.
A dead man switch.
Woot!
A dead man switch. Well, look, I go to move the body in the headless corpse, and it says, "Hello, Akbar," just blows up.
I had a
So-
unnatural 20 for investigation.
Okay. That's cool. So
15.
Lucius, you go back into the bushes to get the body of the one with the red mark. And as you're sort of rooting for its pockets, you just get like a delayed as it just gasses in your face, like oh, fuck, like this stench of rotten child meat, fucking goblin fart in your face. Crom and Shabazz, between the two of you, you find 9 gold pieces, 21 silver pieces, 5 copper pieces, Crom, you find a small dented or something
So you cut out a small dented
flask with
flask.
whiskey inside it. It seems pretty good. It's on the one that you're closest to. Meg, you find one of its eyes. As you're looking at the body, you sort of glance face, and you realise that one of its eyes isn't an eye; it's a. You can go ahead and prize that out if you wish.
A
ruby.
ruby. I'll take that.
It's probably worth about between 5 and 10 gold.
Got it.
Just a quick estimation.
I'm just gonna pry his eyes out.
Just spoon at you, mess kid.
She's a savage.
Oh,
She's
well,
the
her.
one.
the whole time while you're prying, Greenie's behind you, like.
And of course, her
He's
glasses
like,
are doing that reflective light thing while she looks a little bit sadistic, pulling the eye out.
Yeah. Mike, you do have a fine 2 pieces goblin that you got farted on by.
2 how much? Sorry, you keep
2 copper.
Copper. Okay.
So,
602 copper.
who's keeping track of the gold that we found?
I kept track of the stuff from the first cave.
You cut out when he said the silver, so I got 9 gold, 5 copper. How many silver was it?
I think it was like 21 silver.
Okay.
It's just like going through all the bodies, and one of the wargs had like a saddlebag on it. And, there is like a collection of mishmash, tatty leather armor. There's probably 100 goblin arrows amongst this pile. Serviceable.
I'm good at arrows. I don't want pikey goblin arrows.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Shabazz is still gathering them and bringing them to him like, oh, I got you something. Thinking that she wants some.
Just look at these like slime covered arrows on the floor like, thank you, Shabazz.
They seem cleaned a little bit. They're perfectly usable.
She presentations them.
I don't tell you how to bang things with a hammer, Cromran.
That's fair.
Don't tell me what to shoot.
I'll tell you what to shoot, just not to how to do it.
Lucius nods. Well, we got everything, guys.
Oh, I think so.
Uh,
She's going to be playing with the little ruby in her hand.
Right, let's move on and find camp. We can divvy up all this stuff there.
Sort out this marsh, hopefully. This is horrible.
Um,
Whoa.
sorry, that's me moving shit. Pushing on for about 30 minutes, Lucius, you start to come back in.
Back
With you
into
being into like a
Right.
woodland.
back into a woodland.
Yeah. With you being a ranger and this being your favorite survival, you move on for like 20 minutes until you find like a cave that's about 8 to 10 feet deep. Just gives you some sort of protection from the elements.
Could
And
we have a fire in here and no one would be able to see it?
yeah, easily enough. You could have a fire here. You could cook. You've got enough. It's like a deep fir forest at this point. So there's really low branches on the trees, loads of like dry pine needle, fine, loads of dry wood. The floor itself's quite dry throughout because you've gone up in gradient now. You've probably gone 100 meters up from where you were in marshlands, and you can get some comfortable sleep here as a party. Do you guys want to set watches for the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I'll do. Lucius is going to offer to the last watch because he can't see in the dark.
Okay.
Which is what he'll do dawn, like 4, 5 a.m. sort of time.
I can do the first one.
Okay. Go ahead, roll me a perception check.
Before we go to sleep, I'm going to ask Shabazz for her rope.
Okay.
I thought you said robe at first.
Yeah.
You've got the
Take it out.
goblin for the night. You don't need the robe.
Give me a robe. Here, put this on and take it off.
Okay, she's gonna give her a rope.
I'm going to tie Mr. Goblin up well, good and proper.
Okay.
He's going to be like warm in like a 50-foot rope cocoon.
Okay.
You know, like they tie people to railway track.
Yeah.
That's how he's getting tied up.
Okay. Get that.
He's
Sounds
like
like he's actually
except his manacles are tied to his feet. It's like he really can't move.
Okay. So, Chrome, what did you roll for him?
a 17.
17. You keep an eye on the fire. You keep some water boiling and some soup on the go and some, broth and whatever. And Sildar sits up with you that evening. Did you ever meet him properly, Gundren? One of your kin?
Not really. We spoke a little on the journey, but then you buggered off and said you would be fine.
Aye. No, we did. And we wasn't. And you helped out. Thank you for that.
What happened to you?
We were about 2 days ahead of you guys. We kept a decent pace, as we do. We came upon what looked like a small girl in the road. Gundren stopped to give her a hand, and as he dismounted, turned out it wasn't a small girl, it was a disguised goblin. They opened fire on us, quickly took out both our mounts. There was about 11 of them in the ambush. They quickly subdued us and took us away. It was as if they knew we'd be on the road. That's what I wanted to speak to one of you about. Clark and Yemik spoke one of the nights I was captive. I don't speak Goblin well, but the bugbear and the Goblin didn't speak to each other in best of tongues. It was mostly broken common. From what I could gather, Clark knew myself and Gundren would be on the road.
Who else knew you were traveling?
Many people in Neverwinter knew we were traveling. Many people in Phandalin knew I was coming. A friend of mine, Einar, he sent for me, so he knew I'd be coming. But weird element to this was Clark kept mentioning a black spider, saying that black spider wanted the dwarf's head and the dwarf's map. That's the bit I can't get my head around. Why would want the dwarf dead? Yes, his map. Have him dead is folly.
Suppose we're lucky that they got you instead of Gundren then, huh?
I feel like they may have him. They got me and took me to Cragmore, but I feel like they dwarf elsewhere. Maybe I was just some extra prize for their troubles. Human flesh.
You spoke to me.
Dump. I did.
Can you not do that with Gundren?
Too far away. It's a short, maybe 120 meter distance I can communicate. I've got to know the rough direction of the people. Roughly a rough image of them. So I had a feeling it would be you guys sent to aid.
Eventually we were, yeah. Well, once we're getting paid, I'm not too bothered about the money myself, but Lucius is.
Well, the Lord's Alliance will see you don't buy well. Do not worry. The coin will come. I'll see of that.
I believe you will. You need to rest, because that hand is not looking good.
He looks at his stump with the missing hand.
Oh, it's gone!
By the way, Shu's got his hand, but I don't have the heart to do it for him. I'll wait for Shu to the next session. He's got it in a little satchel somewhere. But yeah, he's just got a stump at this point. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know what I know. If I get
Thank
any
you.
just some rest, if I get any more memory, I'll pass it on to you.
Please do.
It's all clear for now.
Thank you.
Listen, I'll take watch this evening. Got a couple of hours now, and I'll take over after you.
I'll wake you when it's time.
Perfect. And he goes and rests. Cameron, your watch goes by quite easy. 2 hours from watching the moon and the stars through the tree canopy go quite quickly for you. It's not too cold a night. And your watch comes to an end. Sildar Hallwinter will roll the next one. For
When he
5.
wakes up, I'm going to give him the flask of whiskey as well. To have a
Which he drinks a lot of and rolls a 5 for his perception check. And a couple of hours later, he kind of stumbles, gives Shabazz a bit of a knock. Shoes, I'm gonna guess, leave this one out because he was down to 1 HP at one point.
Yeah,
And so I'm not playing him. So go home and roll perception for me.
sure thing. I hate that it goes right behind. Oh, 20.
Nice.
It's the glasses.
Yeah, a very alert watch, keeping an eye on your prisoner. Kind of drooling, fast asleep. Snot is like coming out of his nose. You can just see the like the firelight, and it's kind of like dangling down, and it touches the dirt, and then kind of sniffs back up. And, like all the dirt goes in his nose, and it kind of dangles back down. He's just got this like clump of like bark and leaves, dirt, like pine needles, like building up on his nose around all the snotty area.
She's looking through her familiar's eyes, too.
Yeah, gross. Occasionally you hear him saying a kiki, which is queen. It's like he's dreaming about you.
Ugh.
You did set his family on fire. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
But your watch goes seemingly well for the first hour. During the second, later part, you hear distant footsteps through the undergrowth.
How far away?
Seems to be about 20 feet away from you, moving closer to you, parallel, and then further away.
She's just gonna be like panicking with her like hands over her mouth and just kind of like not sure if she should wake everybody right now. Like, this is her first adventure outside. What do I do? So she's just gonna stay quiet.
Okay. The rest of the hour goes by, nothing happens. It'll be Lucius for the next watch, the last watch of the night.
So, oh, have I fully rested now then?
Yeah, you'd have had 8 hours by now. We'll say.
And did I
Yeah.
fully rest too?
Yeah, eventually after this you'll all
Yeah.
say.
Spaz wakes me up.
And I'm gonna tell him about the noise. I think there's somebody
Yeah.
out there.
Did you go look at him?
No.
Alright, leave it to me. Get some sleep.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna Oh, actually, I could go and have a little look around for tracks, couldn't I? Or I'll have a little sneaky look around to see if I can see
Sure.
anything.
So it's first light is starting to crest over the hill, so kind of
What? Sorry, you cut out again.
saying when you first wake up it's pitch black and you have to give it about 15-20 minutes for the sort of sunrise and the first light to crest over. But then yeah, go ahead and roll survival. E +2.
Oh yeah, because I'm moving rewards. 12.
12. Easy to pick up a track. It looks like a very obvious and deliberate track. I say deliberate, sorry, not somebody that's trying to hide. Most likely somebody that was unaware of your presence. And the track looks to be quite draggy. And quite like a lethargic type gait. If that makes sense.
Lethargic type.
So like the person's gait and their step seems to be quite lethargic or quite like slow, almost like an elderly person would walk. Makes sense. That it's not like your average, say like a 6 foot human would have like a 15 pace gait. This is like a 7 or 8, like a half pace.
That would see, but I know this might be like meta, but this has kind of got Lucy trying to wonder if it'd be like a zombie or some shit. Because he's like he hunts undead.
Mhm.
So like a gormless human would mean like almost like a zombie.
Mhm.
Could I make a roll for that to know? Or...
I think you've got. Can't you do your favorite enemy trait thing?
My favourite enemy trait is advantage on intelligence and wisdom checks to do with.
I thought you could sense your favorite enemy in the area or something.
I'll link it. I think. I guess.
Or maybe it's later on. I'm sure there's something you can.
Yeah, I get something next level to spend spell slots.
Okay.
Like a,
So go ahead and roll just a straight up wisdom check for me with advantage.
just wisdom with advantage. Yeah.
Okay. You believe that this is potentially something. It doesn't seem to be, from quick glance, it doesn't seem like it was looking. Just looks like.
Keep cutting out.
Oh, sorry, mate.
It's always on where the part where the vital part of the sentence is.
Okay, so it doesn't look to be like it was hunt. It is definitely from your knowledge and experience of hunting and gait, the way it's like lazy and sort of
So it does look like an undead.
yeah, but it doesn't look like it was pursuing you. Excuse me. Sorry.
It's just mindless undead rampaging around. It's great. Well, he's not going to go after it now. I think he'd just go and carry on his watch.
Okay. The last hour of your watch goes pretty chill. Sun rises. Start making breakfast and feeding the team up.
Sweet.
You are a day's travel, and by a day's travel I mean it's like 8 hours from here to Cragmore. You guess from what the little zombie dude said.
That's still kind of good, Meg.
Yeah.
So we'll end the session there for tonight.
Yeah.
She won't miss too much.
I'm not going to be here next week, by the way. Just
Okay. I don't mind if it's just one person missing, because I can catch them up and stuff, but it's more than one person. Just sessions.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed tonight's session, guys.
yeah.
We got to roleplay and kill shit.
I was super confused with so many things though. I was like, whoa, so many things to fight. Lost track of everything.
Okay, and I saved the rolls that I just did. 10 and a 13.
Yeah.
Not
So how
quite
does
an
that
epic
work?
dream. The divination thing?
Yeah.
I can change my roll, I can change an enemy's roll, or I can change anyone's roll, so long as it's a d20, with whatever these two rolls are that I do after a long rest.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's how I was able to give him a natural 20, because I had rolled a natural 20 when I did my divination.
Ah.
Did
So you can
35
kill
damage.
That was cool.
With a 3, you could just make something miss, though.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
it's like I had a dream that they were shit.
Or
And then they become.
they crit against you, you can be like, nah.
How much
Exactly.
XP do we get?
Oh, give me a minute.
Let's level.
You're gonna be looking.
You did kill a lot of stuff.
And are you
Right,
still gonna
shit.
divide it between the 4 of us, even though he's not here, so we're not like one level behind one another?
I should have turned up. Nice. Oh,
Just-
of course.
Yeah, I don't want us to get split up.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
It starts to get ridiculous. You miss 2 sessions and you're like a level and a half or something behind. No.
Mhm.
We killed 1, 2.
Yeah, if you can count how many goblins you killed. I think it was
And
First kick.
befriended.
killed
First,
and
we killed a group of 2. Then we killed the bugbear, a wolf, and another goblin. And then we killed another 4 goblins. That's 1, 2, 3.
11 goblins, because it was it's 11 goblins and 11 plus 5, so 16 goblins.
2, 3.
16 goblins. So
16 goblins, 6 wolves, a bugbear.
Wow, we killed a lot actually.
So I mean, we committed like genocide on a serious scale.
To the point where we hunted one down.
But we made him our
between-
friend.
between the 4 of you, there's 1400 XP.
That's 350 each.
And roleplay. Don't forget roleplay.
Were we at 300? Is that right?
350. I added 200. 350 XP.
And Shabazz saved Cromwell's, not Cromwell's, Crumb Run.
Crumlin.
Yeah, life. There's another character in it called Cromwell.
So we're already at 300 experience because we're at level 2, right?
Yeah.
So we get another 350, so we're at 650.
Yeah.
Is it 900 for level 3?
Yeah.
Nearly there.
Not too shabby. For a fucking Night of Goblin Slaying.
Maybe if we killed Greenie right now.
Sorry, but it's gotta be done.
Actually, thinking about it, Sil, what's his name? Sil. I bet he'd be
Sildar.
worth XP.
How much XP for Sildar?
So you don't want to share his XP.
We're just like, sorry Sildar, we need the XP, you've got to go, mate.
Like,
Going around
why?
killing bunnies and stuff.
That's
a
how
good
you
point,
make
I wanna go
murder
hunt in.
hobos, is
I want to go hunting on
XP
my watch.
games.
I wanna go hunting wabbits.
So, guys, I'm going to shoot off. Thanks for tonight's game.
Same.
Bye,
Thank you.
stream.
I'll catch you all next week.
Mate. was great. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers.